Love you, Charlie, but I hate you, Charlie, but I love you. I love him. I hate him. Love you, Charlie, but I hate you, Charlie. I love you. I hate him. Love you, Charlie, but I hate. Love you, Charlie, but I hate you, Charlie, but I love you. I love him. I hate him. Love you, Charlie, but I hate you, Charlie. I love you. I hate him. Love you, Charlie, but I hate you, Charlie, but I love you. I love him. I hate him. Charlie, why did you get married? Well, what did you love, Israel? I love that you, but I hate you, but I love, fuck you, man. This is gonna be hard. Love you, Charlie, but I hate you, Charlie, but I love you. I love him. I hate. This ends now. Never go full on Candace. Let me out.
Holy crap, that's insane. That's what I think is going on in the world today. I think Candace is just experiencing what so many other people are going through today. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Jim, and I'm here to tell you some news. What's going on? Let's see who's here tonight. Let's SB Farmer, what's up, Wave? Anything going on? There's a few things going on. There was a State of the Union, but there was a bunch of other people doing the State of the Union. I did not want to just be another person doing the State of the Union, so I thought, it's got to be over by 11, right? Well, I think I timed it. 11, yeah. I did have some things to deal with all day today. Lisa says, great State of the Union. Just finished the State of the Union speech. It was great. At least it was. Yes, it was. I caught most of it. Trump was very Trumpian. Said a lot of things, did a lot of stuff. And, it is what it is. I apologize, first off, to everybody about last night. Something came up with my grandkids. I had to leave. Is what it is. I had to take care of that, and I had to watch them all day today because the person who was supposed to watch them last night and today, there was an issue. They couldn't do it, and not that they couldn't do it because of their own actions. Let's put it that way. So what's this? This is somebody on Kick says, "Hey fam, just a quick heads up. I'm a supporter of Kick channels, helping streamers grow the right way. No bots, no gimmicks, just real viewers and real engagement. If you're looking to boost your content organically, hit me up on Discord. Bone Vic. Wait a minute. Bone Vic. Was that like Michael Vic? Hey, Sunshine's here. Hey, Jim. Hey, everyone. Great to see ya. So awesome. Anyway, as there is on every show, there's a goal. There's a goal every night that we do a show. Sometimes we hit it. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we go an extra hour. Sometimes we go an extra 2, extra 3. Sometimes we've gone an extra 6 hours. The way it works is for every $100 in total that comes in across all platforms, Cash App, PayPal, Super Tips, Coffee, Ko-Fi, Rumble, Rants, YouTube Super Chats, Locals, Coins, gifting memberships on Rumble, YouTube, Kick, Twitch, or becoming a member on Rumble, YouTube, Kick, Twitch, or even Locals. I add it all up, and when we hit $100, I add an extra hour to the show. Then for every 100, we add an extra hour to the show. And then as an added bonus, when we hit 50, we activate Bellavision for the evening. There's Bella. You can see she's just chilling. She was watching the State of the Union. She thought it was great. But if somebody donates $25 in an individual donation, that could be like 5 gifted memberships or a $25 super chat or something, then Bellavision is automatically added at 25 instead of 50. That's how that works. And we have the first super chat of the evening from Phil Coggin. Says, the only thing that could make me watch the State of the Union would be if we made POTUS dress like a Roman triumvirate, so people realize how ridiculous it is. Well, thank you, Pat. I agree. You know, it's so ridiculous that the people don't stand. Like, not a single Democrat stood up when Trump said how great it's been that religion is making a comeback in the U.S. They all just sat there like, they are really demons. They really don't like religion. They pretend to be whatever they want to pretend to be, but they're not. So, Rock the Chasm says, that was fun. I don't know if he means the Candace opening video or the State of the Union, but either one, I'll say thank you. With Philip's generous $5 donation, that means we are $95 away from the first additional hour of the show and $45 away from Bellavision. Wow, that's just great. What's up, dudes? Yeah, thanks, Philip. Although I don't agree with you, I don't know. Trump is great. State of the Union. Okay. I don't know if it's true, but Jack Hughes was cut from the 1980 Miracle on Ice. What do you mean by cut? The movie? I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you're. I don't know. I need more. I need more, unless I'm supposed to pull up that. Let's see what this is. Oh, not the same guy, a different Jack Hughes. Okay. All right. Okay. We will do this right now before we get into anything else. So we'll do this right now. Coincidence or something else going on here? Let's see.
This has to be one of the most unbelievable things in sports history. What if I told you that Jack Hughes...
All right, see, now they have music. This is the problem, is they have Dream On from Aerosmith playing over the background. So that's an automatic, like, copyright claim. Like, I could, like, I don't know why people do this and put the music on it, because, like, why Instagram, if this was on Instagram, how come Instagram's not getting hit over it? Because you can't play the music like that on stuff. You'll get clobbered. They could put a copyright strike on your channel. But I do think POTUS should be dressed as a Roman triumphator to conduct the ceremonial duties. Use closed captioning. Well, I'll try, but I'm gonna turn the volume off and see how it goes. Jack Hughes' goal was 46 years in the making. What if I told you they was cut from my team, USA? This is effing insane. Now Team USA wins the gold on a 46th anniversary of the Miracle on Ice. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Everyone knows the movie Miracle. Yeah, you know what happens in the 51st minute of Miracle? Something crazy. Nothing to see. Just boys practicing. Just the boys out there getting ready for the Olympics. And then you can see Jack Hughes' name get crossed off. Oh, it's Jack Hughes. Mm-hmm. So this guy, man, So that's how you could tell a real hockey player when you look at them and they're missing a whole bunch of teeth because they've taken a couple pucks or sticks to the mouth. Now, it's okay, SB Farmer. I'm not mad at you at all. I'm just saying I'm mad at the people who make these videos. Because
Sim shit is this?
I could have swore this was AI. Jack Hughes was cut from the 1980 Olympics.
yeah, just moments before the Olympics, this guy was cut. They didn't cut Jack Hughes. They delayed Jack Hughes. It started with Jack Hughes and ended with Jack. It's not the same Jack Hughes, unless it's his son. Maybe, I don't know.
If this doesn't give you full body.
I don't know. They're gonna keep the song just playing. Gold medal winner right out of Back to the Future. It's unbelievable. Okay, well, I don't know about that. They don't look anything alike. Now, if they looked, he looks like Bobby Clark in that picture. Jim, you got to know I'm just messing with you about your start times. Well, I don't know if you're messing with me or not. You might be messing with me right now, telling me you're messing with me. Are you messing with me? Telling me you're messing with me about messing with me? Yeah, just a coincidence, common name. Yeah, I mean it's. Or we could be living in a simulation and they just keep recycling the same stuff over and over again. I say it every night, no matter the time. That's what I'm saying. Are you messing with me now or are you messing with me then? Are you messing with me to mess with me? What are you messing with? Keep it messy, friends. All right. Well, let's. I do have some news stories that were from last night. I'm not going to do those first. If we get through all the stuff I have for tonight, we'll do the ones that we didn't get to last night. Because I had quite a lot for last night. Believe it or not, tonight there wasn't really a ton of news. There is some news, but not a ton. Wait, are you messing with me? Ha 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 ha. Am I messing with you or are you messing with me? Am I messing with you, messing with me, messing with you, messing with me, messing with you? Which came first, the chicken or the egg? Inquiring minds want to know. All right, let's go. First story of the evening. No, we're not going to watch that. Levitt says Trump chooses diplomacy first for Iran, but remains willing to use lethal force if necessary.
No, the president's initial statement, and the president reiterated that statement last night on True Social, that Operation Midnight Hammer was an overwhelmingly successful mission that did, in fact, obliterate Iran's nuclear facilities. That is not just verified by the president of the United States, but also the International Atomic Energy Commission as well. That does not mean that Iran may never try again to establish a nuclear program that could directly threaten the United States and our allies abroad, and that's what the president wants to ensure can never happen again. And just one more note, but with respect to Iran, before I run into my morning meeting, President Trump's first option is always diplomacy, but as he has shown, he is willing to use the lethal force of the United States military if necessary. So it's always the president is always the final decision maker around here, and I've seen a lot of sensationalist reporting over the past day that is just completely untrue. And anyone speculating to the media, hiding behind an anonymous source, pretending to know what President Trump is thinking or a decision he will make with respect to action against Iran has no idea what they're talking about.
Yes, I concur with that. We're going to read the story in a second, but I forgot to say hi, Rock the Casbah. Great to see you tonight.
Tonight, on More Fun with Trunks, and
What the hell?
Reporter.
Why would you do that to me, Fox? How you doing, Rock the Casbah? Great to see you. Snarf says the egg was around first before the birds. Joe, what's up, Joe? Nice to see you tonight. Man, Trump always has the best press secretaries. He didn't at first. If you remember, his first press secretary was Reince Priebus. Ugh. And then it was Sarah Huckabee Sanders, remember? Ugh. And then it was Kayleigh McEnany. Yes, great, awesome. And now it's Caroline Leavitt. So he learned. He learned. The first couple years that Trump was, I was thinking about Katie. Sarah was good. Sarah Huckabee Sanders. I didn't think so. I didn't think she was good. The girl that what's her name? Kayleigh McEnany, the one that had the binder that would pull up the pages and call people out. She was fire. She was awesome. She set the bar for what a press secretary should be. All right. This one's pretty good. I still think she's not as good as Kayleigh McEnany. Of course not. You're a guy. No, it has nothing to do with looks. I said Reince Priebus sucked. Remember Reince Priebus, a guy? I said he sucked. He was horrible. He was not a Trump guy. He was responsible for Trump picking up, probably responsible because he was the head of the RNC, and then all of a sudden he was Trump's press secretary. Ugh. But anyway, enough about me. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said Tuesday that President Trump's first option for Iran is always diplomacy. But there's nothing beats diplomacy at the end of a gun. And he's willing to use lethal force of the United States military if necessary. That's right. Marjorie Smith's here. Hi, all. Great to see you. The remarks come after Trump wrote on Truth Social on Monday that it would be a very bad day for Iran if the country can't strike a deal over its nuclear program. President Trump's first option is always diplomacy, but as he has shown, he is willing to use lethal force of the United States military if necessary. So the president is always the final decision maker around here. Who was the final decision maker, do you think, in the Biden White House? It wasn't Joe Biden. He would say, they tell me I can't do this. Remember how many times he say, I'm going to get in trouble if I say this? So he was not the final decision maker on anything. He did what people told him, said what they said, read his script, then went and ate his pudding. The only decision he made was, I want 2 scoops of pudding. And I've seen a lot of sensational reporting over the past day that is just completely untrue. And anyone speculating to the media, hiding behind an anonymous source, pretending to know what the president is thinking or decision he will make with respect to action on Iran has no idea what they're talking about. You had to watch the State of the Union? I know. I tried to wait. I thought it would be over by 11. I thought 2 hours for State of the Union because it started at 8:45. I thought 2 hours and 15 minutes. That's long, State of the Union. That's long. But Trump does like to talk, and he can talk. So I should have maybe went a little later. So the president told reporters last week that he is considering a limited military strike on Iran to pressure its leaders into reaching a deal over its nuclear program. But what would a limited strike be on Iran? I mean, by limited, you got to think, I mean, honestly, in my opinion, when he's saying a limited strike, he's meaning like, we're not going to use nuclear weapons. That's what he means by a limited strike. We won't use nuclear weapons. We won't put ground troops in, maybe. That's what he means by limited. Still no women's hockey team. Maybe the women's hockey team refused to come. I don't know. I mean, did any of the men's team not show up? I don't know. I didn't cover it. I didn't see any stories about what happened with them. So this says, U.S. assets in the Middle East are positioned for highly kinetic war, former Pentagon official says. Oh, they refuse? Oh, they did? The women's hockey team refused? Oh, well, fuck them then. They said it was historically long at 1 hour, 48 minutes. It says, the U.S. has recently been increasing its military assets in the Middle East, sending the USS Gerald R. Ford and its strike group towards the region. Trump announced they will visit the White House. Well, there you go. They'll visit the White House. The USS Abraham Lincoln and 3 guided missile destroyers are already in the area. Everything that has been written about a potential war with Iran has been written incorrectly and purposefully so. I am the one that makes the decision. I would rather have a deal than not, but if we don't make a deal, it will be a very bad day for that country. And very sadly, its people, because they are great and wonderful, and something like this should never have to happen to them, Trump wrote on Truth Social. Women's hockey team is coming to the White House? Okay. So what do we think? We got this. This is from the Jerusalem Post. It says Trump is willing to use lethal force against Iran, the White House says. President Trump's first option with Tehran is always diplomacy, but he's willing to use lethal force if necessary. I think we covered that. So Secretary of State Marco Rubio is scheduled to brief top congressional leaders known as the Gang of Eight at the White House later on Tuesday, according to the U.S. State Department. Rubio is expected to brief the lawmakers on Iran, a source familiar with the matter told Reuters. Hey, Anne-Marie, so nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. The United States has deployed a vast naval force, a naval armada, some might say, near the Iranian coast ahead of possible strikes on the Islamic Republic. Trump on February 19th said he was given Tehran about 10 to 15 days to make a deal. Trump could address his threatened strikes against Iran over its nuclear program at the State of the Union speech on Tuesday night. And this is the State of the Union could be Trump's best chance to sell the voters on Iran plans. Tuesday's State of the Union address provides Trump with a nationally televised opportunity to persuade skeptical American voters to rally behind his threatened strikes against Iran over its nuclear program. Having him actually go to Congress to deliver it and must end. So you're saying having him that he has to go. Him having to go to Congress to deliver the State of the Union must end, like most other things from the Wilson era. Yeah, I agree. Because then it used to just be a written thing that they would just send over. They would just send over like a written form. I think like a written letter. I think so. Thank you for the 5, Philip Coggins. With that means we are now $90 away from the first additional hour of the show and $40 away from Bellavision. Wow, thank you so much for your generosity. You said the best State of the Union you ever watched. I've only seen 2. I don't know. Trump's are usually pretty good. I thought the one when Nancy Pelosi tore up the Trump speech was fantastic. I enjoyed the State of the Union. I enjoyed what I saw. I didn't watch the entire thing. I was bouncing between Racket's show and Joe's show, and also getting my show ready and watching and listening and going back and forth and pulling up stuff. So I don't know. And then, believe it or not, Ground News went down today. Like I was in the middle of getting all my links and Ground News crashed. So it just get me 403, 403 errors. I don't know if their website was getting DDoS or something else was going on. It was very odd. Very odd. Advisors have urged President Trump to focus on the economy, immigration, and other domestic policy issues when he takes the U.S. House of Representatives podium for the speech at 9 p.m. That has not been his focus to date. Instead, the run-up to the event has been overshadowed by a huge buildup of U.S. military forces in the Middle East and preparations for a conflict with Iran that could last for weeks. I don't know about weeks. I don't. If Tehran does not reach a deal to solve the long-standing dispute over its nuclear program, honestly, why would it last weeks? We could decimate Iran's entire Air Force, all their defenses and everything in like a couple days. There would be nothing left for them to shoot at anybody. Just saying. George Washington actually delivered it in person and took questions after his first one, then decided he didn't like that and never went back. On Monday, Trump dismissed talk that some members of the administration have doubts about going to war with Iran. He said, I'm the one that makes the decision. I would rather have a deal than not, but if we can't make a deal, it'll be a very bad day. We said that. Very bad day. Very, very, very bad day. Very, very, very bad day. Trump rose to the top of U.S. politics with the passionate support of a political base that embraces American first policies and has vowed to end an era of forever wars. Okay, but see, this wouldn't be a forever war. This would be like, it'd be like going to Wisconsin. You zip in, you zip out. I mean, I don't care if you get your ass kicked once in Wisconsin, but, Okay, maybe not like going to Wisconsin. Maybe like going to Czechoslovakia. Discombobulator. Yeah. Options today. You bought some rum? Wow, that's awesome. Good job. Trump's fellow Republicans also took control of both the House and the Senate as his Make America Great Again message resonated with many Americans. But opinions show the party will struggle to keep control of Congress. Why is that? Because the media has been telling people how terrible things are, and it's all Trump's fault. That's what they keep telling them, which it's not. I mean, they're talking about, oh my God, look at prices. Well, look at the prices, how much they went up before Trump got into office. Prices going up under Biden like this. Now they're going slightly up under Trump, slightly up. Inflation is at like, what, 2%? 2.1%. Like, that's low. Under Biden, it was 12. And that's the numbers they gave us, which I think were way off. It just didn't make sense why prices for some things doubled, like electricity, gasoline, eggs, doubled, tripled. Inflation only went up 12%. Well, shit doubled and tripled in price. That's more than 12%. The risks from the Iran conflict are not really political. Trump and his aides have touted his success capture last month of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. But Iran, a nation of 93 million people with a large supply of missiles, is a more formidable foe. Not that formidable. Just saying. I don't think so. I don't think that formidable. I don't. Trump asserted in July that U.S. strikes on Iran the previous month had been so successful they obliterated the country's nuclear facilities, saying it would take years to bring them back into service. Yes. And then there was Democrats at the time, especially that Chris Murphy from Connecticut, right? Is he from Connecticut or Chris Murphy's from, there's a Phil Murphy's the governor of New Jersey, but Chris Murphy is a Democrat from Connecticut. He said at the time the Trump bombed it that they were never building a weapon, that they've never looked to get a weapon, that this is all a joke. And now he says that Iran's only one, the Trump strikes did nothing because Iran's still a week only away from building a bomb. So you can't have it both ways. Either they're building bombs or they're trying to build bombs or they're not. So, just saying. However, as U.S. ships and other military equipment amass near Iran, Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, who leads nuclear negotiations on the U.S. side, said on a Sunday on the Fox News that Iran was probably a week away from having an industrial-grade bomb-making material. Oh. So he said that. Trump's audience on Tuesday includes Democrats in Congress who criticize him for scrapping the 2015 agreement that limited Iran's nuclear program. Because it didn't. It did not limit Iran's nuclear program. Just caught up. By the way, you mixed up Reince Priebus with Sean Spicer. Wasn't Reince Priebus the first? No, I'm sorry. You're right. Reince Priebus was Trump's first chief of staff. Sean Spicer was another RNC guy that Reince Priebus put in as press secretary. They all sucked anyway. Both of them. Adam, you're right. That was Trump's first chief of staff was Reince Priebus. So I did screw that up. It was Sean Spicer, and he sucked too. Trump's audience on Tuesday includes Democrats in Congress. Yes. Trump is bumbling his way towards war with Iran. Is he really? Bumbling? I don't think he's bumbling in anything. In a feeble attempt to accomplish what had already been done by a diplomatic deal. That's bullshit. It did not. The deal was curbing them. What did they do different under that deal that they weren't doing at those factories now? You guys claimed they weren't doing anything. So it's a shame that these people can't just tell the truth ever. So this is great news. So the Trump administration, this is on to the next story. The Trump administration is talking about forcing banks because they can use the regulators. The regulators, mount up. They can use them. Okay? They can use them to track illegals via bank transfers. That's right. Use banks. Oh, who's transferring money? Are they citizens? They got social security numbers? No. What's their address? We want them. Trump deputies may track illegals via bank transfers. Good. President Trump's deputies have drafted plans to spotlight illegal immigrants' use of the U.S. banking system. The Trump administration is weighing a possible. Now, I should ask is how have you tried to get a bank account as an American citizen? Have you gone to the bank and seen the paperwork that's required? You know, your birth certificate and all this crap to prove who you are, social security numbers, all this stuff. How is it that illegal aliens could get bank accounts? It doesn't seem like someone's following the rules that they apply, the way they apply to American citizens, if they're, So Trump is weighing a possible executive order and other action that will require banks to collect citizenship information from customers. Yes. A new front in the administration's crackdown on illegal aliens, according to people familiar with the matter. One avenue being considered is having the Treasury Department's Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, which enforces the U.S. anti-money laundering and counterterrorism financing laws, collect the information, the people said. Those laws require a bank to flag large cash transactions or other transactions that appear to be suspicious to FinCEN. in my opinion, the big takeaway tonight is J.D. Vance is the fraud czar. Yep. J.D. Vance is very popular with the ladies of the U. The project could help ICE to quietly ramp up deportations of illegal migrants outside of the view of hostile media and pro-migration group GORUPs. What are GORUPs? I think it's supposed to be groups, and they misspelled it. Trump's deportation deputies have deported roughly 400,000 migrants and pressured perhaps 1 million more to self-deport. It would be wonderful if they just all self-deported. Terry says, hi, looked for you guys earlier. Well, I saw everybody was streaming tonight. I mean, Joe was streaming, Nick was streaming. Everybody, Cecil, Sean, all types of people were streaming the State of the Union, Mersh. So I was like, I'm not going to stream at my normal time against all these people streaming the State of the Union because I didn't want to just sit there and watch the State of the Union for 2 hours. And I figured most people wanted to watch the State of the Union. So I figured I would wait till it was over. If I was wrong, I apologize. That plan is just a down payment and a large effort to deport at least 15 million illegal aliens who helped push down American wages, to push up their rents, and to reduce high-tech workplace investment. There you go. Sounds good. So far, ICE officials have done extensive I-9 reviews where officers visit employers to check the legal status of workers. Those reviews often prompt employers to quietly fire illegals as the CEOs try to avoid a high-stakes ICE workplace raid. Yeah. I mean, that's what's supposed to happen. I want them to start arresting these business owners, the people hiring illegals. Start arresting them. They're breaking the law. Start arresting people for harboring and aiding. You know what I'm saying? However, there's no evidence that the Department of Treasury has restarted sending no-match letters to employers when it detects fraud tax identification data from migrant workers. What? So they used to send no-match letters to employees when it detects fraudulent tax identification data. They're not doing that anymore? Why wouldn't they do that? Yes, let's get some CEOs in jail. This will dry up overnight. That's how you solve these problems, when people start realizing that they're going to be held accountable. When you hold people accountable for their bad actions, you get less of that bad action. When you don't hold people accountable for bad actions, for breaking the law, for doing things they're not supposed to do, you get more of it, because why not do it? Why not do it if you're not going to get in any trouble for doing it? It's tacit. It's a tacit green light from the Democrats and these other people that they refuse to do anything to the people openly, brazenly breaking the law. Well, multiple agencies are pushing forward with plans to impose heavy fines on illegal migrants. Good. Fine the shit out of them. The fines are likely to persuade many migrants to quietly leave the United States. There is already a law, I believe, where it's like either $500 or $5,000 a day fine they could get for being in the U.S. Do it. Do it. Do it. Trump administration may make banks check citizenship status. I thought the banks are already supposed to do that. I had to prove I was a citizen. I had to check a box that I was a citizen to get a bank account. Why didn't they? The Trump administration is considering a bold new step. Why is it a bold and why is it step new? Why any of these things? Requiring U.S. banks to collect citizenship information from its customers. Good. According to reports, officials are discussing an executive order that would direct financial institutions to gather proof of citizenship, such as a passport, from both new applicants and possibly existing account holders who want to keep their accounts. If enacted, the move would mark a significant expansion of current banking rules. Will it really? A significant banking rules expansion? Well, I don't think that's the case. I don't. I mean, if you go to the bank as a U.S. citizen and you try to deposit or take out more than $10,000 in cash, you got to sign a paper. They send it to the IRS to let them know, hey, this guy had cash. What? That's nuts. Under existing Know Your Customer regulations, banks must verify identities to prevent money laundering and criminal activity. How do you verify identities when people are using fake IDs? However, they are not currently required to collect or verify citizenship status, and there's no federal ban on non-citizens opening bank accounts. First of all, nobody's saying non-citizens can't open bank accounts. What they're saying is that if an illegal alien opens a bank account, they should probably tell somebody. Fled X, what's up, buddy? Great to see you tonight. Virginia is for others. I agree. It says the proposal is reportedly being discussed within the Treasury Department, but has not been finalized. A White House official cautioned that no policy is official until the president announces it. Any reporting about potential policy making has not been officially announced by the White House is baseless speculation, said the White House spokesman, Kush Desai. Desai. Discussions have reportedly raised concerns with banking industry, which could be tasked with enforcing the new requirements. Oh, well. The potential order would align with President Trump's broader push to reduce illegal aliens coming into the country and murdering people. Yeah. And they don't want them to, for it to, we need to tighten the enforcement across multiple sectors of American life, including employment, public benefits, and now possibly financial services. Definitely. How about some Dem State of the Union response? I do not want to listen to Abigail Spanberger say anything. I really don't. Nothing. Nothing from her. Yo, what's up, Jet Trinity Powers? How's it going? So this is good news. Amazon to invest $12 billion in dual data centers in a campus in Louisiana. It is expected to create as many as 540 direct full-time jobs, along with an additional 1,700 full-time equivalent positions. What is 1,700 full-time equivalent positions? What does that mean? So they're going to have 2,200 people working part-time, so that's equivalent to 1,700? Is that what they're getting at with it? I don't know. Amazon. Oh, did you guys hear that Amazon is now the largest retailer in the world? They surpassed Walmart for revenue. They do 310s and 410 employees. Okay. Amazon on February 23rd announced plans to expand its significant presence in Louisiana with a $12 billion investment to develop its first data center campus in the state to support cloud computing and artificial intelligence. Amazon already operates multiple facilities in Louisiana, including a 3 million square foot advanced robotics fulfillment center that opened in Shreveport in 2024, which employs more than 2,000 people. The online retailer operates 4 fulfillment and sorting centers and 7 delivery stations in the state, while also managing 200 megawatts of solar power generation. Oh, wow. Shreveport is a hellhole. I've heard it. It didn't used to be that bad. Shreveport used to be nice. The new data center development site will span interconnected campuses in Cato and Bossier Parish in northwest Louisiana, which are separated by the Red River. It is expected to create as many, 540 direct full-time jobs along with the, why would you repeat that line? It was in the last paragraph. Why the fuck would you repeat something that was in the last paragraph? As part of its development efforts, Amazon announced it would invest up to $400 million in local water infrastructure to serve the data center campus. It also is working with the Southwestern Electric Power Company to cover any expenses associated with upgrading and developing new energy infrastructure required for the project. That's interesting. Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry commented on the project said investments of this magnitude put Louisiana at the center of operations relied on across the country and connect our communities to jobs that power how Americans live, work, and do business. Amazon data center campuses will develop will be developed and owned by Stack Infrastructure, which has said that as many as 1,500 construction trade workers will be employed during the build-out. It's expected to break ground soon. The project demonstrates Stack's ability to execute multi-site data center developments in close coordination with utilities, clients, and local partners, said Matt Van der Zanden. Wow, that's impossible almost to say. Amazon said its new data center campus will only use verified surplus water to ensure the facility doesn't strain local water resources. Due to the region's climate, Amazon said water should be only needed to cool the data centers less than 13% of the time, which is about 45 days annually. Usually during peak summer temperatures, the facilities will be able to pull in ambient air for cooling the majority of the time, which reduces electricity demand by up to 25 to 35%. But isn't it hot and sticky in the swamp? Where are you getting the cold air from? Just magic? Swamp magic? I have a Garand, a post-war rebuilt at the Red River Army Depot. Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. It's a Garand, not Garand though. John Garand. It's not Garand. Everyone mispronounces it. It's Garand, according to the guy. Humidify, dehumidify. Oh, okay. All right, if you say so. So it's like a swamp cooler. Louisiana Economic Development said Amazon received a bundle of tax incentives from the state. Oh, you see that? When you actually give them tax incentives to build stuff, they build stuff. But when you have crazy people like AOC, when Amazon was trying to go to New York and AOC basically shut it down because she's an idiot, now all them jobs went somewhere else. So, yeah, so doing everything. They're computer server racking, fiber optic, water conservation systems, and other connectivity. The tax breaks will extend for 20 years with an option to renew for an additional 10. So 30 years they could possibly get without having to pay taxes. That's crazy. That's crazy. It's just crazy. You know, I don't understand it. I wasn't tired or yawning before I started the show, and I just started drinking a Red Bull. I haven't drank a Red Bull in 5 days, and it's making me yawn. Like a Red Bull is making me tired. Yeah, he's a Canuck. Garand had an ice rink in his living room. Yeah. Yeah, he was a crazy man. But like George Patton said, the Garand rifle was the most important war implement created at the time. It's that gave the soldiers the ability to do things that weren't thought possible with a bolt action rifle. Okay. Yeah, it's just the news, same story. It says Amazon announces plans to build data center campuses in historical North Louisiana investment. So they're saying the investment is historical. Okay. Oh, this is let's do this. We might watch this. Hold on. It says watch live. Ted Cruz reacts to President Trump's State of the Union address. Let's see if I click there.
He was holding a sign up. Remember, he got kicked out of the chamber last year. But Sean, the moment Republicans are talking about tonight is that
Al Green got kicked
Trump
out.
asked Congress, stand up if you believe the government's priority should be protecting Americans over illegal immigrants. All the Republicans stood up and clapped, and then that Democratic side was silent. They stayed seated. Nobody was clapping. It was.
Yeah, the damn Democrats, they stayed seated. They were silent. Nobody was clapping. Nobody was clapping for them. So Pentagon gives AI firm ultimatum. Lift military limits by Friday or lose a $200 million deal. That's right. Stack's parent company, Blue Owl, is also supplying the U.S. government with ICE detention facilities. Okay. So, yeah, I don't know if you guys know this AI firm, what is it called? Anthropic, I think. It's like, oh, we're not going to work with the military, but there's like, they're getting like $200 million from the government to work with them. It's weird. Like, you took the money to do this. Like, I don't know. Oh, let's see. What's this? Let's see. Spending shifts.
Republicans want to give the War Department a new mission to improve its audit system, and it involves the use of AI. New legislation could help the Pentagon meet its 2028 deadline with a clean audit, a task it has never completed. We get details tonight from Chief National Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin.
The Pentagon is set to release its 2027 budget next month, which President Trump says could be as high as $1.5 trillion. And yet, for the 8th time in as many years, the Pentagon has failed to pass an audit.
The answer from the Pentagon was, there's a war on, we're busy, we're occupying something or other. It was always an excuse as to why not to do it.
The services often say they don't know how many helicopters or planes they have because they are always being deployed.
Somebody suggested that's true of Avis and Hertz, also the rent-a-cars, and they can tell you where their cars are.
The Marines are the only service to pass an audit for the 3rd year in a row. The Air Force has 10 times the assets of the Marine Corps.
There are some things that the Marine Corps was able to essentially muscle through. DoD's assets are scattered around the globe, both the people and the equipment. Some of it is expended in military operations, literally blown up. So all of that adds to the complexity.
Senator Joni Ernst's Receipts Act would require the department to use AI in auditing its expenditures, establish an audit committee, and mandate stronger financial credentials for senior Pentagon officials.
If we are asking American taxpayers to spend $1.5 trillion on defense spending, those taxpayers need to know that those dollars are being used appropriately.
It's also impossible for the Pentagon to project exactly how much it will spend with the constantly changing security environment. The USS Ford, the second aircraft carrier strike group the president just sent to the Middle East from the Caribbean, will cost at least $10 million each additional day spent at sea. Brett?
Wow. So we got a $5 tip on Ko-Fi, whatever it's called. So we'll share this tab instead right there. See right there, it says from Constitutional Freedom. Off of Kick, since they screwed me giving the weirdo the sub to you. So instead, here's your donation for all the good work you do. I listen on Rumble, but do not post there. Have a great night. Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Constitutional Freedom. I really appreciate it for the $5. And with that, our banner gets updated. We are now $85 away from the first additional hour and $35 away from Bellavision. Thank you so much. That was the first ever donation on coffee, Ko-Fi, whatever, Ko-Fi bot, new tip from Constitutional Freedom. That was the first ever tip in there. Wait, so is it posting that on YouTube too? Oh, it is. I didn't know there was a Ko-Fi bot on YouTube. What the hell? How is that working? And also on, is there another one? Let me see. I just got my first Ko-Fi support. Yes, I did. Thank you. How does this work? Thank you so much. All right. Never heard of it, but cool. Remember coffee pronounced backwards is I. Oh, okay. Wow, that's cool. Thank you, constitutional freedom, man. Pentagon gives their ultimatum about the $200 million deal. So let's see what it is about here. Pentagon has given artificial intelligence firm Anthropic until Friday to lift restrictions on how its Claude AI system can be used by the military, warning it could cancel a $200 million contract or take other punitive steps if the company refuses, according to multiple sources familiar with the discussions. So basically, the government's been paying them, gave them a $200 million contract to use their stuff, and now all of a sudden they're saying, "Oh, but we turned this stuff off for them and won't let them use it." Sounds like they stole $200 million of taxpayer dollars, so maybe we should just go in and take it from them. The skirmish broke out after the Pentagon claimed Anthropic had asked whether its product was used in the January military operation to capture Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro in a way that suggested the company may not approve if it was. The Pentagon insists AI companies must allow products to be utilized for all lawful military use cases without company oversight or approval. Anthropic denies discussing use of Claude for specific operations. It suggests its red lines are not allowing its products to be used for fully autonomous weapons or mass surveillance of Americans. Yeah, for mass surveillance of Americans, that's why we've got, what's it called? The other one with that weird guy with the weird hair. Damn it. And it's named after the stones that they had from Lord of the Rings. Can't remember what they're called. No, my mind is blanking on it. Damn it. Anyway. War Secretary Pete Hegseth delivered an ultimatum during Tuesday meeting at the Pentagon with Anthropic CEO. Even as Hegseth praised the company's technology and said the department wants to continue working with the firm. Palantir, that's right, the Palantir. That's the name of it. Yeah, the Palantir stones. Palantir. That's the company that spies on all Americans. Hegseth told Amodai that if the company did not allow Claude to be used for all lawful purposes, it could face termination of its Pentagon contract, designation as a supply chain risk, potential limiting its ability to work with defense vendors, or possible invocation of the Defense Production Act to compel access to the technology. Yeah, see, Palantir. Yeah, see, like, they don't understand, like, the Defense Production Act basically could be the government could just take it from them. That's how that works. Believe it or not, like, we say we're a free country, we're not a communist country, but if the government decides you have something that they need for defense of the country, they can just take it. Patents be damned. There's no such thing as a patent. If the government classifies it like if you came up, let's say you came up with a patent for a fully autonomous, let's say a fully autonomous thing that could just do all great stuff and go and, like a fighter jet that you could build, and the government would just take it. They don't have to pay you for it. I mean, they would pay you to build it, but if you're like, nope, I'm going to keep it and give it somewhere else, they're like, no, we're taking it. Isn't Palantir associated with Epstein in some way? I don't think so. I don't know if he invested in it. Maybe. It's a guy. He's got like Doc Brown hair, all messed up hair and glasses. I can't remember his name. My brain is not working tonight. Claude is currently the only advanced commercial AI model of its kind operating inside the Pentagon's classified networks. Oh, Peter Thiel. Yeah, Peter Thiel. No, not Peter Thiel. It's a different guy. Peter Thiel does not own Palantir. The guy is not the CEO of Palantir. He has money invested in it. Peter Thiel has money invested in a bunch of stuff. I'm trying to think of the guy's name at Palantir. He's got a darker complexion, per se. What's this? Holy shoot. Schumer almost said something positive about the Trump administration. Well, we're going to have to pull that up. We're going to have to pull that up. That's breaking news. That's breaking news. That's crazy breaking news. Let's see. Well, after being briefed on Iran by Secretary Marco Rubio, even Chuck Schumer was shook. He didn't even say anything critical of Trump. This is serious. The administration has to make its case to the American people. Oh. Well, let's see.
This is serious, and the administration has to make its case to the American people.
What did you hear?
This is serious.
Well, The Schumer-Rubio briefing underscores the critical reality. Iran's nuclear brinkmanship isn't partisan theater. It's an existential threat. The administration's posture aligns with a decade of clear red lines. Enrichment beyond civilian thresholds is weapons-grade ambition. Yeah, Alex Karp. That's his name. CEO, Palantir, Alex Karp. If you look at his picture, he's got glasses. His hair is like Doc Brown, you know, from Back to the Future looking. So it signals the gravity of Tehran's violations. The military buildup isn't reckless escalation, it's a calibrated deterrence. Remember Operation Midnight Hammer? Obliterating Fordo and Natanz didn't start a war. It was enforced accountability after years of IAEA stonewalling. Chuck looking more and more like the happy merchant. Yeah, I think he's looking like when he was sitting there, there was a picture of him at the State of the Union sitting there, and it looked like the friggin' penguin, like Burgess Meredith penguin. That's what it looked like to me. I agree, very positive. I always like to see those receive medals. Yeah, I don't think they call it the Congressional Medal of Honor anymore, though, because it doesn't go through Congress anymore. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's just called the Medal of Honor now. I might be wrong, but I think so. If Tehran won't halt enrichment, the alternative isn't entanglement. It's preventing a nuclear-armed regime from holding the world hostage. Weakness invites chaos. Strength restores order. Yeah, this is why we don't notify Congress about future military operations. Yeah, right there. They would all tell. They would all tell. They would all tell people. Pentagon officials argue the Department of Defense cannot depend on a private company that maintains categorical restrictions on certain uses of its technology, even if those uses are lawful. During the meeting, Hegseth compared the situation to being told the military could not use specific aircraft for a mission, according to a source familiar with the exchange. If you're paying to use a service, you should be able to use it for whatever you want. The dispute represents an early test of who controls the guardrails on advanced AI inside the U.S. defense systems. Private companies or the Pentagon? Well, it shouldn't be private companies because private companies have no oversight whatsoever. The Olympic gold medal is mostly silver with a melt value of about 2,500. Yeah, they're not. They used to be like they used to be like I think 2 ounces of gold or 3 ounces of gold. They used to be quite a lot of gold. They're not anymore because gold is just too expensive. So the outcome could shape how military partners with leading AI developers as it moves to integrate more powerful machine learning tools into national security operations. Can you imagine if the military teamed up with Grok? I mean, Grok's pretty based, so shit might get real. Anthropic, which has branded itself as a safety-oriented AI company, has said its policies are meant to reduce the risk of misuse as advanced AI systems become more powerful. Yeah, Anthropic is the company that wants the government to restrict everybody else's AIs. You know, because theirs sucks from what I understand. That's all the stuff I'm reading. He says Anthropic sucks. So I don't know. You know, I don't know. I don't have an answer. Okay, well, Arcade didn't fucking do anything. During the meeting, Amodai walked through those restrictions and argued restrictions would not interfere with the lawful, legitimate War Department operations, according to a source familiar with the meeting. A senior Pentagon official claimed its position has nothing to do with mass surveillance or autonomous targeting because there's always a human involved and the department always follows the law. Even as tensions rose, officials on both sides indicated the full autonomous weapons are not currently contemplated under the department's lawful use framework, suggesting the clash is as much about control as about battlefield applications. It says AI tool Claude helped capture Venezuelan dictator. And how did the AI help capture Maduro? Did they have it run to say where he was, to figure out where he was? During Tuesday's meeting, Hegseth explicitly referenced potential use of the Defense Production Act, termination of Anthropic's existing contract, and the possibility of designating the company as a supply chain risk if it does not agree to allow its product to be used for all lawful purposes. Such steps reflect two very different forms of federal leverage. A supply chain risk designation could restrict Anthropic's ability to work with federal vendors and contractors by signaling the company poses reliability or governance concerns, while invoking the Defense Production Act would represent a rare attempt to use national security authorities to compel access to frontier AI systems deemed critical to defense needs. What? I think you people maybe don't understand what's what, because it wouldn't be the first time that's happened. Terminating the contract would carry consequences beyond ending a vendor relationship because Claude is currently embedded inside the Pentagon's classified networks. Why in the fuck would you let, this doesn't make any sense to me, why would you let AI be embedded inside classified networks? What if the AI just starts leaking shit out? What are you doing? Because Claude is currently in. Cancellation could disrupt existing workflows and require a department to transition sensitive systems to an alternative provider. Here's another guy. Look at his weird hair, all hair all fucked up. Like deja vu. Yeah, it's like Skynet. Like this is literally Skynet. They have access to all our systems, so how will we get them out? This is crazy. Pentagon officials also said that Musk's Grok chatbot has agreed to allow its products to be used for all lawful purposes. Oh, there you go. Including potential integration into classified systems, and that other frontier AI firms are close to similar arrangements. AI systems sometimes hallucinate. Sounds like a bad idea to embed in defense systems. Yeah, right? Daniela Amode looks like she's made by AI. Trump meddled a helicopter pilot injured during the Maduro capture. It was so emotional. Poor man was obviously in pain still. Oh, man, that's... Jimmy Fallia says, AOC did not make it to the State of the Union. Apparently she thought it was below the equator. Funny. Yeah, she thought it was where Venezuela is. Where she thought Venezuela was. Ridiculande, yeah. That's weird. Grok did not immediately respond to a request for comment. They asked AI for a who the fuck? They asked Grok to AI, or did they ask the company that owns? I mean, what's going on here? Good evening, everyone. Hey, Philip Del Piano. That's great. I did have some wet eyes at points during the speech. There you go. Good to see you. Hey, good to see you, Mama Pillow. Thanks for being here. Anthropic, in a statement attributed to a company spokesman, said Anthropic CEO Dario Amere met with Secretary Hegseth at the Pentagon this morning. During the conversation, Dario expressed appreciation for the department's work and thanked the Secretary for his service. We continue good faith conversations about our usage policy to ensure Anthropic can continue to support the government's national security mission in line with what our models can reliably and responsibly do. Oh, what's it say? Doc says, for later, best of State of the Union. Okay. All right. I'll pull that up and put it to the side. Okay, well, it's not really a video. It's not really a video, Doc. It's just pictures. Associated Press just says, Hegseth warns Anthropic to let the military use the company's AI tech as it sees fit. Yeah, so we're going to have a private company telling our Pentagon, our military, what they can and can't do. That doesn't seem like it makes a whole lot of sense. That'd be like, what if Boeing said, oh, no, you can't use that plane for this, or no. General Dynamics said, oh, no. Or Raytheon said, no, you can't use those missiles for that. You know, what's next? Companies saying you can't sell the missiles. We can't sell them. What? Hegseth gave Anthropic CEOs a deadline to open the company's artificial intelligence tech for unrestricted military use. or risk losing its government contract. Makes sense to me. This guy repeatedly made clear his ethical concerns about unchecked government use of AI, including the dangers of fully autonomous armed drones. Well, what are my ethical concerns that I have about a private company's unchecked use of AI? Who voted for them? Defense officials warned that they could designate. Yeah, so you know what? This guy better watch out, or he's going to end up in Guantanamo Bay as a traitor, dangerous threat to the U.S. Enemy of the state. This guy's going to end up as an enemy, being declared an enemy of the state, which is a great movie about AI and spying on people, by the way. So Axios reported earlier that it underscores the debate over AI's role in national security and concerns about how the technology could be used in high-stakes situations involving lethal force. Hegseth has vowed to root out what he calls woke culture in the armed forces. So Anthropic hits a $380 billion valuation as it heightens competition with OpenAI. So as Anthropic and OpenAI rivalry spills into new Super Bowl ads. Is OpenAI actually open? I don't think so. All right. Let's get on to the next story. Hey, I just want to tell everybody we've been going for 1 hour. All right. 1 hour and 6 minutes. I want to thank everybody who's here. Please remember, please hit the like button if you haven't already. And just please hit it. Just hit the like button. It doesn't take long. It takes a few seconds. You hit it. You come back. It's like, got that done. It's out of the way. All right. And I want to remind everybody that, we're going to do some news tonight. Gavin Newsom says the demon rats must be more culturally normal to win elections. Really? Did he say that? Culturally normal. There were many tearful moments tonight. Yes. Yes, it was emotional at times. Democrat Party needs to be more culturally normal. What does that mean? No more drag queen story hours? Is that what that means? Does that mean no more, trying to gender mutilate 6-year-olds? Is that what that means? Because that, that's how about that? California Governor Gavin Newsom recently told CNN that in order to win elections, the demon rats need to be more culturally normal. He emphasized that demon rats need to spend less time talking about gender and pronouns and more time focused on issues that matter to most Americans. Here's the thing. He's just telling them stop talking about it. That's it. Stop talking about it. Just do it. Do what you're going to do. Just don't talk about it. While Newsom is making a valid point for once, his party is simply not capable of doing this. They have made it clear that things like trans rights are more important to them than housing or any other pressing issue. Gavin Newsom told CNN's Dana Bash that demon rats will need to be more culturally normal on issues like transgender athletes and women's sports if they want to win voters. The wounded vets and the 100-year-old veterans being honored got to me. Yeah. That guy. Yeah. The Inside Politics host aired the rest of her lengthy interview with the California governor and potential 2028 presidential candidate about his new book, Young Man in a Hurry, on Monday. Yeah, he wrote a book. And then when he goes in front of black people, he says he can't read. I can't read. I'm dyslexic. And then when he's out with white people, he says, oh, I read this book in 3 hours. So which is it? Made you think of your dad and uncles who served? Yeah. From a tactical perspective, from the prism of purely politics, there's no doubt that the Demon Rat Party needs to be, dare I say, more culturally normal. I believe that less prone to spending a disproportionate amount of time on pronouns, identity, politics, more focused on tabletop issue, things that really matter. The stacking of stress in terms of electricity bills and childcare costs and healthcare are obviously, housing costs are how easily we get trapped in that, and I've fallen prey to that myself. Wow, that's what he says. The 100-year-old veteran looked good for his age, yeah. Newsom claimed to have spoken from his experience being at the forefront of demon rats, defending the issue, and after receiving backlash for his more moderate position, argued that there needed to be more nuance.
No doubt that the Democratic Party needs to be, dare I say, more culturally normal. I believe that. Less prone to spending disproportionate amount of time on pronouns, identity, politics. More focused on tabletop issues, things that really matter, the stacking of stress in terms of electricity bills and childcare costs and health care and obviously housing costs, and how easily we get trapped in that, how I've fallen prey to that. I mean, here I was, way out front on marriage equality. So I understand this from both on the receiving end of this and on the...
Why does he do that? That seems very sleazy to me, the way he does that move. Newscomb says demon rats need to be more culturally normal to win, less prone to spending all this time talking about gender and blah, blah, blah. So we read all this. He's desperate to recalibrate his image in anticipation for a 2028 run. It's why he's everywhere right now saying different things to different audiences. I'm so over dyslexic Gavin. Yeah. Thanks, Sunshine. I was a dog person. I only had one campus. Okay. Because he's fake and gay. Yes. Sleazy is a good description of Newscomb. Yeah. The trouble for Newscomb and his party is that although he's making a valid point, demon rats are simply not capable of change. Pathological liar and psychopath. Yeah, he's literally the guy from American Psycho, the killer. He's the killer from American Psycho. I mean, even his hair is identical to what Christian Bale's looked like in that movie. Jet Trinity Power says, yeah, he did seem way healthier than me. I'm more than less than half his age. Yeah. Yeah. Phil says he needs to be running from the police instead of for office. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So we read all this. All right. I thought the same, looking good for 100. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Definitely. Charlie Kirk's alleged killer, Tyler Robinson, fails in bid to get top prosecutor thrown off the case. So let's jump into this story. That photo of him and Kim on the rug, though. Him and who? Kimberly Guilfoyle? He was married to... Gavin Newscomb was married to Kimberly Guilfoyle. I don't believe... Kimberly Guilfoyle has a son, but I don't believe it's Gavin's son. I believe it's with the person she was married to after her and Gavin cheated on her with someone. I don't know. Something like that. Just be Bale. Oh, we're talking about the cat. Did Bale model his character after him or vice versa? I don't know. Newscomb can't stop his movements. It's his reptilian DNA. Yeah. I discovered plain yogurt's a good treat for cats. I'll have my ass off. Yeah. I don't know. My cat loves catnip. And there's these little treats that we get. I don't know. I'd have to look. They're in some kind of treats. These little hard treats. She goes crazy for them. She goes crazy for them. I think they have catnip in them or something. Kimberly has been around. Yes, Kimberly Guilfoyle has been around. Yeah. Charlie Kirk's killer fails in bid to throw prosecutor off the case. I don't think they should be doing this because he's talking to his lawyer and he basically just admitted he did the shooting on tape. What the fuck? Did he not realize this? I mean, he just said the shooting, it keeps him up. He can't sleep at night because he thinks about it, and then he didn't know that he had a wife and all this stuff. And yeah, he's guilty. He just fucking admitted it. He just admitted it. Holy shit. Don't they realize this? He just admitted he was guilty. Trial is a joke theater for the mentally brainwashed. He just admitted it on camera. They're videotaping, listening to it. The sound. Like, I'm surprised the judge, like, why can't this be used in trial? He just admitted it right here. He said he can't sleep at night. It's keeping him up. It's all in his head. He's useless. He can't do nothing. AI lip reader. No, you didn't hear it? I heard him. I heard him. Do you want me to crank it up? I'll go back. I'll crank it up for everybody. I will crank this shit up. I'll crank it up all the way. This is not right. I can't believe that they let this. This should not have been. It should not have been made public. A Utah judge tossed Tyler Robinson's bid to boot prosecutors from the murder case because of one of his prosecutor's daughters was at the rally where Charlie Kirk was killed. Father Brown would advise him to confess his sins. Yeah, from the MK Ultra psychopath. Yeah, I would like to see his prescription medicine. Yes, I would too. This could get kinky. Maybe like. They're not supposed to do that shit when he's talking to his lawyer. Like when he's talking to his lawyer, they're not supposed to be listening in on that stuff. This could get the cameras booted out of the courtroom, actually. Something like this. Really could. The judge could be like, he can't get it. What are you doing? That could cause a mistrial. It could. Judge Tony Graff found the choice by Utah County Attorney Jeff Gray to pursue the death penalty against Robinson wasn't influenced by the daughter of another prosecutor in his office, Chad Grunander, being present at the public assassination of the conservative leading light. I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to be. Leading light. What is that supposed to mean? He didn't say he did it. He said the shooting, he thinks about it all day, every day. He can't sleep. He can't get it out of his head. He's useless. It just keeps going over and over in his head. Like, that's what happens. That's what they say happens to people. Come on, it's all by design scripted? Maybe. I don't know, man. The judge read his ruling during a video hearing on Tuesday in Provo, Utah. Doesn't this guy from the back kind of look like that guy who killed all the women that did that stabbing? Kind of look like, what's that guy's name? The weirdo kid that went and stabbed those college girls? Don't they kind of look the same? I don't know. Graff said he didn't agree with Robinson's lawyer when they claimed the whole office had a conflict of interest because the prosecutor's daughter was roughly 85 feet from Kirk when he was shot in front of 3,000 people. The court finds the prosecutor's daughter's presence at the rally did not factor in the prosecutorial analysis. Mr. Gray's decision was grounded in the assessment of the facts and applicable law. They have his furry boyfriend now. Oh, they do? I'm sure his wife has some same problems, or maybe not. Seems like a cold-hearted liar to me. Kohlberger, yeah, same head shape, right? Doesn't he look like the Kohlberger guy? Like at that picture, like right there? I would almost think that's the same person as Kohlberger. I mean, we could do a case study in physiology, right? Physiology? Is that physiology? Am I correct? Or physio? Is that correct? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Defense has not shown that there's any significant risk that the prosecutor's relationship with his daughter has or will impact the defendant's due process rights. Defendant has not shown that the prosecution by the Utah County Prosecutor's Office is tainted by concurrent conflict of interest. Yeah. Oogly, yeah. I wonder what the deal is with that guy. They've had him since the shooting. Wait a minute. They have the furry guy? Who has the furry guy? He's been in custody? I didn't think they had him. I thought he was missing. I thought he was in hiding or something. Huh. Interesting. Very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Hold on 1 second. Quick check here. Nothing there. Thank you. Sorry. No sunshine. He got away, left the state. Okay. Gray said he doesn't plan to call the daughter as a witness at trial, but Robinson's lawyer could issue a subpoena for her testimony if they want to. That would be dumb. They might say, but they could just do it to try to do something. Oh, SB Farmer says a 6-planet alignment best viewed 30 to 60 minutes post sunset from clear western horizon. That's what they're saying. 228. There's going to be a massive. You're going to see all 6 planets go across the sky or something like that. That's what they're saying. They picked him up today. Oh, they picked up the furry today. They must have some info on him then. They must have something. Must have something on a guy. Yep, today. Okay. The daughter, whose identity has been kept under wraps, testified during a hearing that she didn't take a video of the killing or the melee that followed, and she didn't find out until after she reached safety that it was Kirk who was killed, she told the judge. She heard a popping noise and heard a man say he's been shot. She also told the judge that she was afraid for her life when she was running because she hasn't experienced any trauma. The court concludes that there's not a significant risk that Mr. Grunlander's loyalty to his daughter has or will materially limit his representation of the state of Utah. During Tuesday's hearings, Robinson could be seen on video, but he could be heard when he answered Graff's questions about whether he could hear everyone. Yes, I can, Your Honor. Robinson, who's being held without bail, is slated to appear in court in an upcoming hearing on March 13th. Do we think this guy did it? We think it's this guy, right? I mean, he's the one who did it. I mean, I've seen these other people claim and all these other things, but I don't know. I don't know if there's any evidence for it. That plan stuff is pretty sweet. Oh, Uranus, they're in 5 and 2 spot. Judge in Kirk murder case refuses to disqualify prosecutors. Terry says, I have a hard time believing he did it. If he didn't do it, then why didn't he just say it wasn't me? Why didn't he do the Lee Harvey Oswald and say, I'm just a patsy? That would be a thing to do. The defendant's lawyers wanted the entire office dismissed because the deputy attorney general's daughter had been in the crowd during the shooting. A judge ruled on February 24th that a Utah deputy attorney general could continue prosecuting the man accused of murdering Charlie Kirk. Hey, what's up? Phil says, no effing way did that moron shoot Kirk with a 30-06. Jonathan Marco says, good evening, morning. Been better late than ever. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for being a friend. Waiting for the evidence in court. Well, me too. Sounds like the good stuff. So that's the case. That's the story about that. That's the update on the Tyler Robinson, Charlie Kirk situation. As the judge ruled, no, you can't disqualify all the fucking attorneys in Utah. Phil says, Charlie was assassinated by Mossad with the help of the CIA, as usual. Okay. If you say so. I'll just show me some evidence. That's all. Show me some evidence. So we have a mark your calendars, folks. We will see this alignment like this in the sky. Well, that's going to be crazy to see that. February 28th, turn your eyes to the sky as 6 planets gently line up, revealing the quiet harmony and beauty of the cosmos. Like, you're right, Jim. It's a story. Okay. I'm just saying, I would like to see some evidence. I'll believe any evidence. You know, that's the whole thing about evidence. You believe the evidence. You believe the facts. You take the facts. You follow them where they go. You know, I think the story that this guy did it and somehow hid the gun and nobody saw the gun and he got away with the gun and also the stuff don't make no sense to me. Some of it, like, I just don't. You know, the fact that the bullet supposedly didn't pass through him, a 30-06 at 200 yards didn't pass through him. Best evidence came from Stu Peters and the exploding mic. Okay, there was an exploding mic. Is it possible the mic got hit by the bullet, that he didn't even hit Charlie, that the bullet hit the mic and it ricocheted, or a piece of the bullet only is what hit Charlie and killed him? Maybe. I don't know. Because I'll tell you, the fact that a 30-06 wouldn't have got stuck in him, put it that way. It would have went straight through him. Twigs in Texas hasn't been arrested, just located. Okay. All right. Hey, absent-minded. What's up? Great to see you. If Mossad had made a honey trap and used it to get rid of Bill and Hillary, I'd be a lot happier with them. You and me both. You and me both. Watch the video. You can see the piece of the mic battery come out of the neck just before the blood. Really? Marjorie says, well, in the video where he's supposed to have the gun down his pant leg, he's bending his knee on the stairs. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see the evidence. I'm hoping the whole thing is televised so we can see the evidence that's him. You know? I mean, maybe the bullet hit the mic and fractured and like shattered. A 30-06 can knock down a small deer. A 30-06 is a very, I mean, like, it's a medium game, like medium game rifle, not large game. Like you could actually take some large game with it at 30-06, but I mean, like it's not a elephant gun or something like that, or stop a charging rhino. But it's it'll take out, I mean, it took out hundreds of thousands of people during World War II, a 30-06. So I have been using 30-06 for 30 years hunting. Never did the bullet come out of an animal I shot. Well, okay, but generally speaking, you hit them in the chest cavity, right? And it hits ribs and stuff like that. And you use like a soft point, because this was supposedly just a Full Metal Jacket bullet. It wasn't like a soft point that's going to expand or anything like that. So it would have to hit something hard to make it deform. Just saying. They said there was no bullet. A special explosive device in the mic. Okay. Police arrest former UK ambassador after Epstein disclosures. Uh-oh. Either way, Charlie is dead. Yes, he is. Peter Mendelsohn was captured on video being taken into custody. SB Farmer says, that's a game animal, not a human. We are frail. A former British ambassador to the United States was arrested February 23rd after the government released emails between the ambassador and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Look at this. Wow. The Earth's rotation slows each time a 30-06 is fired. Well, yeah, it's so powerful. Mandelson, former ambassador to the United States, was seen in footage captured by the BBC being escorted into a police vehicle by officers in the London borough of Camden. Officers have arrested a 72-year-old man on suspicion of misconduct in public office. He was arrested at the address in Camden and been taken to London police station for an interview. Is it the mystery ice bullet? Maybe. And it melted. Maybe. Phil says, I don't like hollow points. It splits into too many pieces in the meat. Yeah, it could be. Hey, Spuds, what's up? What if the Earth is flat? I don't know. Yeah. Spokesman said no further information will be provided at this stage to prevent prejudicing the integrity of the investigation. It was not clear if Mendelsohn had retained an attorney. I think they call it a barrister, don't they? A barrister in England? Barrister? Misconduct in a public office can lead to a sentence up to life in prison. It is brought when a public officer willfully neglects to perform their duty and or willfully misconducts themselves to a degree that abuses the public trust and absent reasonable excuse or justification. Yes, a man's neck is not much bigger than a rabbit. He says the bullet was a heart attack gun. Okay. Mandelson was fired from his ambassador role in 2025 after emails showed his relationship with Epstein was materially different from what was known at the time of his appointment. The British Foreign Office said at the time Mandelson also recently resigned as a UK lawmaker, and Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer apologized for appointing him. Ice bullet was a heart attack gun. Okay, ice bullet was a heart attack gun. A wascally one, too. Yes. In one of the emails, Mandelson wrote after Epstein's conviction that I think the world of you and I feel hopeless and furious about what has happened. Mandelson told the Times in a recent interview that none of the files indicate wrongdoing or misdemeanor on my part. More missives between the pair were made public by the U.S. government in January, including messages in 2009 celebrating Epstein's release from prison. Yes, that's right. Adam is 100% right. Surely the Earth is round. If it was flat, by now cats would have knocked everything over the edge. Yes, cats would have knocked everything off the edge of the planet. Hey, what's up? Laura Blades, great to see you. Thanks for being here. Thank you for being here. In another email sent that year, Mandelson forwarded Epstein a message that had gone to the Prime Minister. The Met Police said on February 3rd it opened an investigation into alleged misconduct in office, and the subject was a 72-year-old former government minister. Officials later said they carried out search warrants at the homes in Wiltshire and Camden as part of the investigation. You know, Camden used to be a home to a very large, let's say, contingent of people making rum during Prohibition. Officials later said they carry out search warrants on the homes of Wiltshire and Camden. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, known for years as Prince Andrew, was arrested for alleged misconduct in public office February 19th following the release of new Epstein documents. He and Epstein had for years corresponded and spent time together. I watch a man who is a lawyer, and he's been doing deep dives into this murder. His name is Baron Coleman. He's on YouTube during the day. Very interesting case. Neurodivergent One says, "What's up? My 3 cats broke a whole bottle of Windsong, waking me up this morning." Wow. Hey, what's up? Toast. Laura Boo. Make sure you hit that like, smash, follow, thumbs up, and all that reposting. The Met Police said on February 20th the authorities were aware that London airports may have been used to facilitate human trafficking and sexual exploitation. We're looking into the suggestion. Also, authorities said they were identifying and getting in touch with former and current officers who may have worked closely with Mountbatten Windsor to see whether they heard or saw anything relevant while they were protecting him. While we are aware of the extensive media reporting and commentary about this matter, as of today, no new criminal allegations have been made to the Met regarding sexual offenses said to have occurred within our jurisdiction. We continue to urge anyone with new or relevant information to come forward. All this is doing is going to make people come forward with stories that shit that probably didn't happen. Crazy people will come forward and say, like, "Oh, yes." Former UK Ambassador Peter Mandelson arrested amid Jeffrey Epstein investigation. We're just going to look and see if there's anything different in here. So this guy was arrested amid an investigation into his connection with Jeffrey Epstein. It's a former Labour Party politician who allegedly passed market-sensitive information to Epstein when he was UK business secretary. So he was passing information that Epstein could use to make trades on, like to help him financially. That's not good. That's not good at all. Definitely Wapner. Officers are arrested. 72-year-old man on suspicion of misconduct in office. Definitely in the Whopper. And the AP says, what to know about UK politician Peter Mandelson's ties to his best pal, the late Jeffrey Epstein. What's it say? SB Farmer says, oh my God, no music, just shock. Full auto M14 is a crazy gun. I like going to the range, but it's an expensive hobby. Your family's into guns too. Yeah. Oh, wow. That does look crazy. We're going to jump to that in a second. That looks insane. So he's arrested. His ties to Epstein threaten the leadership of Keir Starmer. He appears to have sent Epstein, who he referred to as best pal, sensitive government information that could potentially influence markets. One internal government report discussed possibly selling government assets to raise money for the UK after the 2008 global financial crisis. He also appeared to tell Epstein, who allegedly died of suicide in a New York prison in 2019, he would lobby other members of government to reduce a tax on bankers' bonuses. Huh. That's odd. Bankers' bonuses. Payment records suggest Epstein gave Mendelsohn or his husband. Oh, his husband. So the guy's got a husband. Mandelson has a husband. Mandelson said he had no recollection of receiving that money, questioned the authenticity of the bank statements, and believed the allegations were false. Mandelson was released early Tuesday morning after more than 9 hours of questioning. He had previously denied wrongdoing and hasn't been charged, though the investigation is continuing. See, they must classify things as different in England, because I don't think we say you were arrested for something if you're not actually charged with a crime. I mean, that's the whole thing. If you're arrested for a crime, that means you've been charged with that crime. They don't arrest you for a crime and then let you go without charging you in the U.S., generally speaking, unless they need to go get an indictment later. But I don't think they need to do that in England. I think they pretty much just do whatever they want over there. The courts just do whatever they want with their white powdered wigs. Mandelson's lawyer said Tuesday that he had voluntarily agreed to speak with the police next month, and his arrest was a result of baseless suggestion that he planned to flee the country. What? There's absolutely no truth whatsoever to any suggestion that this Michon Del Rey law firm said in a statement. Mr. Mandelson's overriding priority is to cooperate with the police investigation he's done throughout his process to clear his name. Oh, there you go. Clear his name. It says he's a major player for decades in the center-left Labor Party. Anyone calling them center-left is basically saying that the communists are in the center, and they're center-left, these people. Whoa. The Labor Party is far-left wackadoos. Far-left wackadoos. He helped the party return to power in 1997 as New Labor under Prime Minister Tony Blair. Financial ethical allegations against him led him to resign twice from Blair's government. He acknowledged mistakes but denied wrongdoing. So this guy had to resign twice because of problems, but they brought him back again? Wow. All right. So we got this. This was let's check in on the Dems counter event to Trump's State of the Union. Let's just see.
I'm a mother. I'm a physician, and I have a flag.
I am a mother. I am a flag.
I'm a proud representative for Oregon's 3rd Congressional District. Yes, thank you. Thank you. And tonight, I defy Trump and his authoritarian project by standing in joyful, radical, peaceful resistance with the Portland Frog Brigade. I'm a mother.
Wait, isn't the Portland Frog Brigade all Antifa, so they're terrorists? So she's standing with terrorists. They look stupid and clearly don't understand the frog. Yeah, they're trying to take Pepe back, because they're like, Pepe the Frog. Pepe the Frog. Everybody loved Pepe the Frog. Pepe is the real frog. Yeah. LGBTQIA++. Yes, anti-frogs. Yeah, those are the anti-frogs. So what do the frogs stand for? I thought Pepe was racist. Well, yes, they did turn the frogs gay. They definitely did. Alex Jones was right about that. Okay, now this story is a little sad. We're going to talk about it. 2 Christian County, Missouri deputies killed in exchanges of gunfire. 2 Christian County, Missouri deputies were killed, one on Monday and one on Tuesday, in separate exchanges of gunfire with 45-year-old Richard Dean Byrd. So this one guy in 2 separate gunfights killed two different troopers. That is messed up. Hey, Good Logic is rated to stream. I wonder if he remembered to do it on YouTube. We'll see if he remembers to do it on the YouTube. So, Democrats and the circus, they are sick. Yeah. Oh, we're going to figure. 4029 News reported that the first deputy was killed while carrying out a traffic stop on a Byrd Monday afternoon, and a second was killed Tuesday morning while pursuing Byrd after he fled the scene of the first shooting. Wow. Aren't frogs any sex they need to be? No, I don't think so. They're usually, I know they can change sexes, especially when they have atrazine in the water. The Daily, what's it say? The Springfield Daily Citizen noted that a third Christian County deputy and a Webster County deputy were also shot while trying to apprehend the suspect. So four deputies were shot trying to get this one guy. The deputy killed Monday was identified as 30-year-old Gabriel Ramirez. Bird was ultimately killed in a shootout with law enforcement personnel. KY3 observed that Christian County Sheriff indicated around 100 officers, deputies, and state troopers assisted in the manhunt. Wow. That's crazy. That's just crazy. The second deceased Christian County deputy has yet to be publicly identified. Hey, Joe Raid, what's up? Gen X Boomer says, Jimmy, what's up? Joey, I think you spelled Joey wrong. It's Joey, not Jewy. Looking for Wayne, what's up? They shut off and you bury them. Can I go to boobies now? I don't know what that means. So this is crazy. So this is the suspect. We're gonna go over we're gonna do this. Suspect, Missouri deputy killings previously convicted for shooting at Kansas law enforcement. So this is just nuts, man.
Welcome to Job Connection. Do what you love at John Knox Village in Lee Summit. Now hiring for CNAs, certified occupational therapy assistants, event supervisors, maintenance associates, and fitness managers. Apply at jkv.org/careers. Look for Job Connection at kctv5.com.
And we've now learned Bird has an extensive criminal history, including cases right here in the metro.
KCTV5 investigative reporter Samantha Boring has been looking into this. She joins us now in studio to break down what we know. Samantha, what have you learned?
Sharon Zach, the Christian County Sheriff's Office, says 45-year-old Richard Bird died in the shootout after that initial traffic stop yesterday. And
hey, Kelly, great to see
he has
ya.
that criminal history. These are just some of his mugshots. And it was nearly 12 years ago when he led Johnson County law enforcement on a similar manhunt. This is video from our KCTV5 files from September 2014.
I do my
Johnson
best.
County Sheriff's deputies were called to a construction site near Stillwell for a break-in.
Samantha Boring, is she
When Bird
boring?
was spotted, he
Well,
fired shots at a deputy. This photo that
The
you're about
Boring
to see on
Company
your
makes
screen
giant
was shared
tunnels.
as they
That says
searched
she has
for
a
him
giant
and
tunnel.
eventually caught him. There it is for you. He was eventually convicted on multiple charges, including aggravated battery of a law enforcement officer and criminal discharge of a firearm. Bird was released from Kansas prison in 2023 and was registered as a violent offender with the state. Just under a year later in 2020.
Wow, we're going to talk to that in a second. But yeah, didn't Richard Bird get dragged to death in the 90s? Yes. It was he was a gay man, and it was a meth deal gone bad. I want to thank everybody who came from the raid from Joe. My show is called Jim Tells You, where I tell you some news, and I throw in some of my opinions and jokes and stuff like that. I try to keep it lively and stuff like that. And we have a goal in the show. For every $100 that comes in, we add an extra hour to the show. It's how it works. Right now, we're pretty far away. We also have Bellavision eventually. When we get the donations up, we get to the Bellavision. There she is. But she's not active yet. She's still sleeping. She's waiting for the donations to come in. And then she'll get up and move around once the donations start coming in. That's how it works. Yeah. That's how it works. Yes, everyone, please hit the like button. Hit the like button. Yes, great minds think alike. And we love the Bella baby. Yes, we do. All right, so let's see here. So, yeah, this guy, it seems like he shot at cops before and went to jail and then got let out and then got a gun again. And then shot at cops again. What do you know? We might be familiar with you, Jim. Maybe you might be. Is every gay murder some dirty deal? It seems like a lot of them are. Jim needs 100 likes. 100 likes would be great. It would. But let's hear a little more of this story.
24, he was charged with burglary and trespassing in Taney County, Missouri. Court records show that the officer felt Bird was a danger to the community because of his convictions from 2003 to 2022 regarding stealing, tampering, and burglary. He paid a $200 fine for that case in Taney County, and earlier this month he was charged with 2 separate property theft cases. He was arrested last Wednesday and posted bail on Friday. During today's update by the
$200 for a
sheriff,
burglary?
he shared that he's aware that Bird had a criminal history, but says he hasn't had time to look into it further. In studio, Samantha Boring, KC25.
Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for that update.
Wow.
At Comfort Plus Shoes,
No.
our expert staff.
No. So that's crazy, right? So this guy shot at the cops before. Good night, y'all. Scratches for you, Bella baby. $200 is nuts, right? He a burglary. He had a $200 fine for a burglary and was released. What? What the hell is going on? Who is this? What is going on? Burglary. That should be like 4 years. 28 likes away from 100. Oh, good to know. It is a miracle. Yeah, it's nuts, man. Well, yes, have a good night. Thank you for coming by. Right on, gal. How about the Florida Panhandle revival? Maybe. Yeah, good night. See you tomorrow in Rob's. Oh, yeah, you're going to be over in Rob's. Yeah, Rob's great. A traffic stop, manhunt, and shootout had left 2 Christian County Sheriff deputies dead. Traffic stop, manhunt, and shootout had left 2 sheriff deputies dead. The man is accused of being involved had ties to the Kansas City community. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it, Laura Blades, that they let out criminals and then they criminal again. Wow. Here, wait, let me show you this is my shocked face. Really. They let him out again. He did something criminal again. Good to know. So the Christian County Sheriff's Office shared that Deputy Gabriel Ramirez, 30, and Deputy Michael Hislop both lost their lives in the line of duty this week. On Monday, Deputy Ramirez was shot and killed during a traffic stop of Highlandville on Monday afternoon, about 3 hours south of Kansas City Metro. The Christian County Sheriff's Office said the shooter was Richard Byrd, who left after the shooting. A manhunt started late Monday and ended early Tuesday morning in a shootout near State Highway 160 near Reed's Spring. That is where Deputy Hislop lost his life. A third Christian County deputy and 1 deputy from the Webster County Sheriff's Office were injured. Both were treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Florida Panhandle, that's my neck of the woods. Alan Sparks, what's up? Yeah. Who is Richard Dean Byrd? According to the Christian County Sheriff's, Richard Byrd was shot and killed during the shootout early Tuesday morning, February 24th. Records show that at one point he lived in Belton and Peculiar. Oh. So they have a town called Peculiar, with his most recent address being in Galena. KCTV5 reported in September 2014 that Byrd was accused of shooting at a Johnson County, Kansas Sheriff's deputy late at night after they got a call that someone had broken into a construction site. There was an extensive search for him in the Stillwell, Kansas, until he was caught. Yeah, why didn't he stay? That's weird. He could have ran for office after killing the 2 cops. Yeah, the Democrats would have put him up to run for president or something, right? I mean, they just love all the criminals. You know, they would have just called him a Missouri man, Missouri father, Maryland dad, like that. That's what they would have called him. You keep thinking of Robert Byrd. Never mind me. Well, Robert Byrd, Richard Byrd. My YouTube is broken. Can't send super chat. Did I get blocked? Say what? You shouldn't be blocked. What the fuck? Why don't I see you? Huh. You're not blocked. You're not blocked, Joe. You're not blocked, Joe, at all. I looked just now. And I just made it so you can't get blocked. In 2016, he was convicted of charges including aggravated battery on a law enforcement officer, criminal discharge of a firearm, drug possession. The judge ordered him to prison for about 8 years. For about 8 years. Wow, look at that. In 8 years, his beard, his name is Byrd, but his beard shrunk. Byrd's beard shrunk. Gen X Booner. This is for the laughs. You're killing me. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Joe says, here's my contribution. Thank you. With that, we are now, what are we at here now? We are now $81 away from a first additional hour and $31 away from Bellavision. Thank you both so much. Fixed it. Blocked on YouTube, call Cash. He'll fix it. Yeah. Call Cash. That's as good as money. So he was accused of shooting at law enforcement in Kansas in 2014 and 2016. So twice? 2 shootings at law enforcement in Kansas now? So this is the 3rd time? Oh, Terry comes in for another 2. Thank you so much. So with that, we are now $79 away from the first additional hour of the show and $29 away from Bellavision. Thank you so much. Oh. And then, Gun of Sorry was lurking. There was a Tard spurging. Would have chimed in. Was lurking when there was a Tard spurging. Would have chimed in. Thank you. Look at this. Oh. With that, we activate Bellavision for the evening. 5 gifted memberships. That is awesome. Thank you so much. Let's see who got those memberships. It says, Right On Gal received a gifted membership from Charles and Company. Gen X Boomer received a gifted membership from Charles. Paulie D. Kelly KB, 1977, Mystic Gypsy, all received gifted memberships from Charles. Thank you so much, Charles and Co. Let's see then. That means we are now, got to figure do some math here now. So that means we are now $49 away from the first additional hour of the show. Thank you so much for that. Wow, that is great. Thank you so much for those 5 gifted memberships, Charles. I'm going to bed. I've been fighting a cold. Well, you need to start winning. Start drinking. Start doing something. Get a little something, a little hot toddy or something. Take care of it. Hey, thanks for the memo. Yes. Yeah, Bella sit. Yeah. Thank you, Charles. Feel better soon, Hetty. Yes, feel better soon. It says I came in and he stopped spurging. I'm a spurg retardant. Well, I didn't. Was someone spurging in the? I didn't see anybody spurging in the chat. Who was spurging? Oh, Philip DePlano. Oh, okay. Oh, this guy. Okay, yeah. I don't know if he was spurging per se. He was just trying to get his point across. Did you just make me a wrench? Well, maybe. Yes, you did. Thanks. No problem. Hey, look at this. Here's mine. A little late from Sunshine. Thank you, Sunshine. And with that, that means we are now just $47 away. Just $47 away from the first additional hour of the show. Thank you all so much. Great work, everybody. You're now our hall monitor, Joe. Yes, it's all on your shoulder now, Joe. You got to pay attention to everything. And now you got to watch every night. You have to be here every night now. It's important. You have to be here. You can't be late. Your official Blue Ranch. I still say it's official. Congrats. Oh, no, it's not official. No Blue Ranch. Okay. So he was registered as a violent offender. Well, that's not good. No, people said you were spurging, I think. Maybe. I think they were talking about you because you were posting a whole bunch of things in chat, but I said you weren't. We were having a conversation. It was like, they weren't coming in like rapid fire, like blam, 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 blam. It was, Joe is a SpewTube gay now. Pray for him. What? You were fine, Phil. You were fine. Just under a year later in 2024, Bird was charged with second-degree burglary and first-degree trespassing. Probable cause state was found with gloves, a flashlight, and a knife. Officer Rody believes Bird is a danger to the community, adding Richard's been convicted of burglary and receiving stolen property in 23, tampering, 2014, tampering. All right, let's see. Oh, we're going to hear something?
Some people call this a shirt. Those people have never chopped wood in a blizzard.
Good afternoon. I'm Sheriff Brad Cole, the Christian County Sheriff.
As you can see, I have many representatives of law enforcement from around the area and the state, as well as some of our federal partners today. Today is a sad day for law enforcement in our community in southwest Missouri and across the state of Missouri. I want to express my sincere...
No, see, I didn't call that spurging. Someone else in the chat said it was spurging. Someone was spurging in the chat. I had to go and look to see what they were talking about. Because, like I said, it looks like on, because you were the only one talking on Rumble, but they weren't coming in rapid fire like bung, 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 bung. They were like separated by time. Like on my chat, they're separated by a bunch of other things. I had to go look to see what they were talking about someone spurging. All right. It's weird. He didn't commit any crimes while he was in jail. He was doing great. Hey, howdy, Mama Pillow. Great to see you. That bald head, maybe. Let's see.
Gratitude for everybody that's reached out to our agency and provided words of comfort, food, whatever it might be to help us through this situation. As you might know, this has been a very trying 24 hours, and I'm going to go through the timeline of yesterday and how this started, and then I will take a few questions, as well as some of my other law enforcement partners will take questions as well. So yesterday, February 23rd at 3:53 p.m., Christian County 911 received a call about a deputy down in the roadway near the intersection of Highway 160 and Glossop Avenue in Highlandville. At 4:05 p.m., responding deputies arrived and found Deputy Gabriel Ramirez fatally shot laying in the roadway. At 4:09 p.m., a possible suspect vehicle was identified, and at 4:13 p.m., the Missouri State Highway Patrol with Stone County deputies and multiple other agencies responded to an address off of Y Highway in the Galena area. At 4:35 p.m., the Missouri State Highway Patrol issued a blue alert, and an intense manhunt was launched for the suspect, who we identified as Richard Byrd, age 45, of Stone County. At that time, investigators released a booking photo taken from a previous arrest on February 16th of this year from the Stone County Jail and released that. After further investigation, the suspect's vehicle was located in the area off of Highway 248 and 160 near the Reed Springs area. Multiple deputies and agencies responded at that time to the area, and a manhunt ensued and lasted approximately 9 hours. At 11:30 p.m. last night, there was a sighting of the suspect reported in a wooded area near the 2500 block of Highway 248. Multiple agencies responded to that area, along with the Missouri State Highway Patrol aircraft unit. And at 11:38 p.m., law enforcement started taking gunfire from the suspect in the wooded area. At that time, Deputy Josh Wall, sustained a debilitating gunshot wound to the leg. Also at that time, Webster County Deputy Austin McCall sustained 4 gunshot wounds. Responding law enforcement could not reach the injured deputies at that time due to continued gunfire from the suspect. After taking multiple rounds of gunfire from the suspect, law enforcement was eventually able to rescue the injured deputies. During that time, Christian County Deputy Michael Highslope suffered a fatal gunshot wound while he was attempting to reach and rescue the downed deputies.
That's fucking horrible. So the guy was trying to get to the deputies that were shot, and this guy killed him. Well, that's terrible. That's terrible. I wonder what, I mean, we haven't heard anything about it, but I wonder what kind of gun he had that he was able to basically get into a shootout with the cops like that and keep them at bay. That's crazy, right? That hat gives you flashbacks, Joe. Yeah. It's like a drill sergeant hat, right? Guy must have been a pretty good shot. Something like, or he had a gun that, like, I don't know. Who knows what kind of gun he had? I mean, obviously it was an illegal gun because he's a convicted felon, so he shouldn't have had any, wasn't allowed, should have been allowed, I don't know. I don't think, considering that the convictions were like recent, couldn't have been, is the shooter dead? Yeah, the shooter's also dead. The shooter is also dead. So, all right. And then after this story, we're going to jump to this other story out of California about a deputy, a CHP officer. Yes, where's Dirty Harry when you need it? You were hoping the troll from Joe's channel ended up here. There was a troll on Joe's channel. I missed it. Oh man, I missed it. I missed the troll. So let's hear this. Wait. Oh, this is about. Oh, well, this was a story too. This was a story I thought yesterday, but let's see.
To have the day off. Reiner is facing 2 counts of first-degree murder and could be eligible for the death penalty.
He has been behind bars since his arrest in December. KTLA's Lauren Lister is live in downtown LA with more updates. Hi, Lauren.
Hi, Sam. Hi, Lindsay. Some new legal analysis for you at this hour. A short time ago, Nick Reiner appearing in a courtroom here. He's appeared in court 3 times now, but this time we got that not guilty plea, and we heard from him one word. He said yes, answering a question to the judge about waiving his right to a speedy preliminary hearing. Listen.
Understanding that your preliminary hearing may commence within 30 calendar days of April 29th.
32-year-old Nick Reiner there, seen in a brown jail jumpsuit at his arraignment. He faces 2 counts of first-degree murder, being represented by and seen in court here with his new attorney, public defender Kimberly Green. This after his last hearing in January saw his high-profile attorney, Alan Jackson, step down because of what he said were circumstances beyond his and his client's control. Now, this is a death penalty eligible case. You mentioned that, but prosecutors have not decided if they will seek it. The LA County District Attorney spoke after today's arraignment.
The case is on track. We have provided the bulk of discovery to defense counsel, and we are now waiting for the coroner's report. When that is provided to the district attorney's office, it will in turn be provided to defense counsel. We take the process.
All right. Well, I thought this was going to be about this other story that I wanted to talk about. And it says, Joe had a call-in show, missed the name, but super TDS and ended with F you to Joe. The troll got off light. So a California Highway Patrol officer who was killed following a car crash in Culver City on July 2nd died from effects of fentanyl. A report from the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner show. Officer 34-year-old Miguel Cano was driving on Bristol Parkway north of Green Valley Circle at 12:30 a.m. when the officer suffered a medical emergency. The car left the road and hit a tree. Cano was taken to the UCLA Medical Center by ambulance where he was later pronounced dead. Cano's partner and a detainee also suffered minor injuries in the crash. Now, the question would be, was he exposed to the fentanyl because of the detainee that was in the car with him? Murder charges, and you have a public defender, good luck in prison. Cano told his partner he wasn't feeling well before the crash. He said during it, so the CHP said in a news conference, the detained person involved in the crash who hasn't been identified was in possession of drugs and an illegal handgun at the time of his arrest. However, in July, officials said they did not suspect Cano was exposed to drugs during the arrest. So that a cop overdosed while driving, many get high on the job. Well, either that or he got exposed to it from the guy he arrested. I mean, when was he, like, because if it was fentanyl type of thing, fentanyl hits you pretty quick, I would think. So how would he do it while he's driving down the road? You know what I mean? Was he chewing on it? Was he like George Floyd? Did he have it in his mouth in a baggie and it busted or something? The suspect we did have under arrest did have drugs in their possession. We do not think this was an exposure to drugs. The other officer and subject did not experience any signs or symptoms related to that. Cano joined the CHP in 2023. He lived in Moreno Valley and survived by his wife and parents. That's just crazy, isn't it? That's just a crazy story, isn't it? That's crazy. Let's see. And then Fox 11 says CHP officer's death linked to fentanyl, medical examiner says. All right, so here's going to be an actual someone talking about it.
A CHP officer who died last July in Culver City has been found to have had fentanyl in his system. 34-year-old Miguel Cano crashed his cruiser while transporting a DUI suspect July 2nd. He reportedly felt ill before the crash and was administered Narcan at the scene, but later died at the hospital. The medical examiner has determined that fentanyl caused his death, though it remains unclear how the substance entered his system. Officer Cano is survived by his wife of 10 years.
Oh, this is B-Hops. Is all I can imagine is Jim saying it's 20 miles to Chicago. It's dark. We're wearing sunglasses. We got a pack of cigarettes and a full tank of gas. Hit it. Steve Gosney for the win. Yes, public defenders have more court experience than attorneys in the firms usually. Yeah, we got cop engine, cop brakes, cop shocks. It's been made before catalytic converter, so it runs good on regular gas. Don't do fentanyl, kids. Yeah, don't do fentanyl. It's amazing how little it takes. Yeah, it is. Hit it. Yeah, it's amazing how little it takes. Here's the thing, too. I would like to see the medical report to see the amount of fentanyl he had in his system. If it was higher or lower than St. George Floyd. Just saying. Just for science. Just for science. Oh, he crashed into a tree. The medical examiner determined he died from effects of fentanyl and ruled the manner of death an accident. It's unknown how or when the fentanyl entered Cano's system. I mean, did they find any, do a hair follicle test? Yeah, but they don't have the resources like the DA does. That's right. The amount of fentanyl that fits on the tip of a pencil is enough to kill a big dude. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But where is it? Like, did they find it? Yes, for science. For science, we should study if he had more or less fentanyl in his system than George Floyd had. St. George Floyd, sorry. And that was like 10 years ago. Now it's even more concentrated. Yeah. Why would they administer Narcan if they didn't know he was on fentanyl? I don't know. How big is the tip of a pencil? The pencil point, like you sharpen it to a point. So it's pretty small. You know, it's like the tip of a pin. I thought it was, or pen. So I don't know. What we know. He was driving a CHP cruiser at 12:30 a.m. His partner him and his partners arrested DUI suspect who had a large quantity of cocaine. Yes, St. Floyd of fentanyl. Yes. Cano told his partner he was feeling ill, and moments later, the cruiser veered off the road. Did he do the old school police trick, like where they tested it and they go, "Oh, let me taste it." Yeah, that's cocaine. Is that what he do? Is that how he tested it? Jet says, I instantly puked on a warm day from it. Was goofing around with someone, and they had a sticky park on the shirt. I guess it started puking. Not good. Sticky patch. Okay. Upgrade to Narcan in your med kits. Fire department gives it out for free. Yeah, signs of OD. Yeah, maybe. Maybe they looked at him and saw his skin, his eyes, or whatever. It can easily be absorbed by the skin. The people on the streets do a whole lot more than the tip of a pencil full. Well, they have to build up. You have to build up a limit. You know, tolerances. That would be bad. They can't do the taste thing nowadays. I don't think they were ever supposed to do the taste thing. Rubber gloves are required. Narcan negates all types of overdoses. I think just opioids. I think all Narcan does is it does something where it knocks out the opioids. I think that's all it does. He fessed up. Maybe he said something to the partner. He was pronounced dead at the hospital. The crash happened just blocks from the CHP's West Los Angeles office where the officers were heading. The other officer and suspect were both suffered minor injuries. So is this longer?
An investigation is underway into the death of a CHP officer who crashed into a tree in Culver City early this morning. We're told 34-year-old Miguel Cano may have suffered a medical emergency.
Fox 11's Christina Gonzalez live first at the West LA station that he was working out of with the latest. Christina.
Yeah, and the station is actually only a few blocks away from where the accident happened. And when first responders got there, initially because he had been transporting a DUI suspect that they had found with drugs on him, supposedly, they took it upon themselves to give him Narcan as a precaution, thinking he may have been exposed to something. But now they're saying that's not what they think happened here. Take a look.
It's heartbreaking. You know, you never You never want this.
The death of a CHP officer. 34-year-old Miguel Cano was driving his patrol car when he crashed it into a tree at Bristol Parkway near Green Valley Circle in Culver City. He and his partner had just detained someone for alleged DUI.
They were in the process of transporting that subject to the jail when Officer Cano said to his partner he wasn't feeling well. His partner acknowledged that he did not look well, and shortly after he lost consciousness, his vehicle left the roadway and crashed into the tree. We believe that he had some sort of medical emergency.
Investigators do not believe the crash was serious enough to kill Cano. Neither the person being transported nor his partner suffered serious injuries.
She is bumped up from the accident, some minor complaint of pains, but those pale in comparison to probably how she's feeling, just losing her officer, her partner officer, you can imagine.
Emotional reaction from officers outside the hospital where all three had been transported to. Many following a long procession. The vehicle that carried Cano's body to the coroner's office. The 34-year-old has been with the CHP only for a couple of years, but was already well liked.
Last week, he was awarded the Mothers Against Drunk Driving Award. He is, he's out there doing what we ask these officers to do. They put their lives at risk every day just going out and doing the job.
And keep in mind, this is now the third on-duty local law enforcement death. You may remember the LAPD sergeant who was hit by a vehicle on the freeway when he stopped to help somebody, and the Baldwin Park officer who was shot when he was on a call. So sad day for law enforcement. Cano's from Moreno Valley. He is survived by a wife and, of course, his CHP family. I'm Christina Gonzalez in West Los Angeles. Back to you guys.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Worst thing is the fentanyl OD victims. You don't want to touch them for CPR without PPE. Yeah. Fentanyl OD. I know. And then Amazing Disgrace says, I don't know. Look at the budgets of each office. It's crazy. I had a personal encounter with a PD, and I will never again. Almost ended in prison for his ineptitude. So I'm biased. Because if you get any on you, it's directly on your skin. Skin will absorb it, and then you're dead. Well, see, this reporting stuff was old, where they were saying they don't think that's what happened to him. They don't know, but this was in July, and now it took the medical examiner until February from July to say he had fentanyl in his system. How does it take over 7-8 months, 8 months, right? 9 months to find out what he had in his system? Yes, that is a lot of Botox, Chris. That's a lot of Botox. Pain must be serious stuff for some. Yeah, it is. It's wild how strong stuff actually is, and some people get patches for it. Yeah, they have fentanyl patches. They have all types of things, different stuff. It's rough, man. It's rough. No, I knew a girl who had some weird absorption patch, but it ripped or something. Oh, wow. Amazing Grace says, I won a case against the city with the public defender. I'm biased as well. Laura Blade says, someone OD'd in front of my van at a red light in his truck. I pulled him out and gave him chest compressions until the ambulance came with Narcan. This makes me think twice about doing that. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? You got to be really careful. I mean, it used to be people were always worried about the cops would wear like multiple gloves and stuff when checking people because they were worried about they were worried about getting poked with needles, sharps. You know what I mean? But California isn't known for efficiency, probably sitting in a morgue cooler for 8 months. Wow. You know what? That's crazy. Probably, though. It made you puke multiple times. Yes. Yeah, having it. Yeah. Because Sunshine said he had fentanyl patches for pain. They're not that strong. Well, so it made him puke multiple times. So that's kind of crazy, isn't it? So, all right. Let's jump to this story. U.S. military boards the third sanctioned oil tanker on the Indian Ocean. Yes. Biab says, I've got rubber gloves in my med kit. I've administered Narcans. No gloves, a mistake. Yes. Officials said the tanker was tracked from the Caribbean to the Indian Ocean. U.S. military forces boarded a third sanctioned oil tanker on the Indian Ocean after it was tracked from the Caribbean Sea. Officials announced on Tuesdays. Pentagon stated that U.S. military forces boarded the Bertha vessel overnight without incident, according to a post on X. Video footage showed in the post that the military helicopters flying around the vessel. Laura Blades says, I had to knock the needle off his lap before I pulled him out. And then B-Hop says, multiple doses may be required. Yeah, America is so broke under Trump, they have to be pirates now. Listen, the pirates, all right, the pirates are in. I'll show you who the pirates are. You want to talk about pirates, all right? You want to talk pirates? I'll show you the pirates. Ready? This is pirates. Ready? All right. The Somali pirates who ransacked Minnesota. Trump talked about it. A camera guy immediately panned to Ilhan Omar. All right. And then here's Ilhan Omar. Look at that. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. There she is yelling. Ilhan Omar. Yeah.
The Somali pirates who ransacked Minnesota remind us that there are large parts of the world where
there's a pirate.
Corruption and lawlessness
Aye, matey.
Not the exception. Importing these cultures through unrestricted immigration and open borders brings those problems right here to the USA. And it is the American people who pay the price in higher medical bills, car insurance rates, rent, taxes, and perhaps most importantly, crime. We will take care of this problem. We're going to take care of this problem. We are not playing games. Delilah.
Wow, that's crazy, right? Crazy, right? Uh-huh. I don't get it. Did she steal a boat? Just $19 billion. Just $19 billion. Do you even know what a pirate is? I know what a pirate is. Arr. Yeah, make her walk the plank and swim with the fishes. Definitely. We're going to keel haul her. Wait a minute. What is this? Yeah. Let's go back to this one. All right. All the way down to Davy Jones' locker. Yeah. We sure have been acquiring a lot of oil tankers, and why is it mostly going to Israel? I don't. Has it really? That would, she stole $19 billion off who? You, the American taxpayer. You, the American taxpayer. Somalis are pirates. Yes, they are. Somali pirates steal ships all the time. What are you talking about? This is it's like a joke, like a meme. I was like a 5-year-old in a Barney song, if you can. How is this woman still in Congress, still here? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, politically. Yeah. Yes. Look at that Talib nasty button she wore at the State of the Union address too. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Are they giving us a good price, or is it because they're our best ally? I didn't know any of the oil was going to Israel. I thought the oil was going to our strategic reserve. That's what I thought. That's what I was under the impression. Why would it go to Israel? Are you serious? I haven't heard that anywhere or seen it anywhere. I'm going to have to look into that. 3 boats ran, and now all 3 have been captured, the Department of War stated. The vessel was operating in defiance of President Trump's established quarantine of sanctioned vessels in the Caribbean and attempted to evade us. Got a source for the $19 billion in theft? Yes. The U.S. Attorney for the state of Minnesota. Yes. They attempted to evade from the Caribbean to the Indian Ocean. We tracked and stopped it. No other nation has global reach, endurance, or will enforce sanctions at this distance. The Post added the military will continue to deny illicit actors and their proxies freedom of maneuver in the maritime domain. Mm-hmm. Trump said it was. I heard him say it. Yeah. Trump said it was? Going to Israel? What's the exact quote? The Bertha, which flies under a Cook Islands flag, is linked to Shanghai Legendary Ship Management Company Limited and falls under sanctions imposed in January 2020, according to the U.S. Department of Treasury's Office of Foreign Asset Control. Following the capture of Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro in Caracas by U.S. forces in January, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said that the Trump administration would move to enforce quarantine of sanctioned oil tankers operating to and from Venezuela. For years, Venezuela has been under U.S. sanctions, and its oil has relied on shadow fleet of tankers to smuggle oil. He said Venezuela has given us 80 million barrels. That's what I thought. I thought it was going in our strategic reserve. Earlier this month, War Secretary Pete Hegseth said U.S. military forces had boarded the Suez-Max tanker Aquila II in the Indian Ocean. That was followed by the seizure of the Veronica III in the same region on February 15th. Thought he said he got a good price. Okay, I don't know. I was in Seattle. We didn't expect a plea deal. Police were lying, and it was apparent in trial. That's the only reason I was defending the public defender. They believed us. Okay. Shadow fleet confirmed. Okay. China, Russia, Venezuela, etc. Grok says, separate from seizures, there are reports of a commercial shipment of Venezuelan crude, about 200,000 barrels, heading to Israel's Bazan Group refinery in Haifa. Oh, well, maybe they're letting drink their milkshake. Yeah. I'm going to drink your milkshake. I take my thing, I drill down, and I drink your milkshake. It's a great movie. Maduro was brought into the United States to face charges of working with drug cartels. Well, I thought he was the head of a drug cartel. That's what I was told. He was the head of a drug cartel. Yeah, Cuba too. Cuba also survives on Venezuelan oil. Aside from the Maduro operation, the U.S. military says it's carried out strikes on drug smuggling boats in the Caribbean and Eastern Pacific since September. Well, we've seen reports of it. They didn't say that. We've seen it. We've seen them. On Monday, another strike took out a drug boat in the Caribbean, killing 3. So why are you saying the military says it has, if you're saying it did? I mean, make up your mind. Trump has signaled his administration may launch land strikes against drug smugglers, including cartels operating in Mexico. This guy says, key details regarding where the ships were taken include Indian Ocean, Indocom region. Several vessels, including the Bertha, carrying 1.9 billion barrels of crude, were tracked from the Caribbean and seized in the Indian Ocean in February 2026. Those boats went to the Saudis. Why would the boats go to the Saudis? Saudis don't need oil. The Israeli company was there in Venezuela when Trump made the deal. Well, I mean, all right. The oil coming from Venezuela is very sour crude, is what it's known as. Very, very high in sulfur. It's actually it's just like the stuff that we get from the tar sands from Canada. So it has to be refined in certain refineries, and only place that has those refineries is like the U.S. Cuba has one, and then I think China has one or two, probably more than one. So I don't know, but and so possibly we don't have the capacity. We would have to bring new refineries online to be able to process that high sulfur crude. U.S. intelligence was used in a Mexican government operation that killed the head of the Jalisco New Generation cartel on Sunday, which triggered widespread violence from cartel members in the country. Yes. Only certain refineries can handle the heavy crude. Yeah. I don't know. I've been seeing like conflicting reports about the stuff going on in Mexico. Like I've been seeing reports that nothing was going on. It was all a bunch of bullshit. Like the riots and all this stuff, supposedly. But then again, I don't know. The guy that was saying that is kind of, I don't know. Just AP just says U.S. military boards third oil tanker in the Indian Ocean after tracking it from the Caribbean. Laura Blade says Venezuelan oil begins flowing to Israel just once after Maduro capture. Okay, well, I'll look at that in a second. We developed Venezuela's oil fields. We've had refineries idle for decades because of being cut off. We have the capacity to let it flow. I thought those facilities were all running the Canadian stuff. Maybe I'm wrong. All those got refineries from American companies going back in the 60s. There's third world shithole, 80 IQ countries. Okay. All the time I was working for the feds, I could not afford any law problems, and the overworked public defenders talking about deals. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm gonna look this up real quick. Pull this up. Venezuelan oil begins flowing to Israel just 1 month after Maduro's capture. Okay. Some were smart enough not to blow up the refineries we built for them, and they nationalized. Tankers seized while carrying Venezuelan oil were escorted to Texas, specifically Galveston, where their combined 3.1 million barrels were impounded. Oh, okay. Venezuela is sending its first oil shipments to Israel in years, just 1 month after. So this has nothing. I mean, this is not. I mean, I don't know. I shouldn't say it has nothing to do with the U.S., but this is not the seized oil. This is Venezuela selling oil to Israel. This is not sanctioned oil. The U.S. plans to sell this oil on the open market under a program branded the Great Energy Deal, with proceeds intended to benefit both the U.S. and Venezuelan people. B-Hop says, if you don't have the quote, I'm going to go with that's just more Groiper AI bullshit. Okay. Citgo was an American company. The crude's cargo is bound for the Bazan Group, Israel's largest oil refiner. People familiar with the matter told Bloomberg it would mark the first Venezuelan oil shipment to Israel since mid-2020, when the country delivered roughly 470,000 barrels, according to the outlet. In the wake of Maduro's capture, Trump said the U.S. would effectively run Venezuela until he was just kind of... Venezuela denies it. After Iran and Mexico, who's the next country Trump will invade? Canada. Got to get those commies off our head. One of the things the United States gets out of this will be even lower energy prices. President Trump, alongside Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller, Rubio, and all them, said at a press conference that after military action, prior to dictator's arrest, Moscow and Beijing had long sought influence over Venezuela's oil industry, with the bulk of the country's crude exports flowing to China in recent years. Yes, let's go, Canada. I thought Trump loved commies like Putin. Oh, man, are you suffering from TDS? Do you need to take something for it? Because it's clearly affecting your mind. You still think Trump, Russia, you still think that's fucking true after it was debunked, thoroughly debunked and proven that it was all just Hillary Clinton lies, made up bullshit? Invade Canada and deport them to Greenland. Take Greenland and deport them to France. Trump announced in January that Venezuela's interim government plans to ship between 30 and 50 million barrels of oil to the U.S. Oh, sounds good. Venezuela did not sell oil to the Jews. Now, are they? They were selling them oil up until 2020 and then stopped in 2020 when Maduro took over. Now there's a new president and they're selling oil again. Sounds like the new president decided to sell them the oil. I don't know. He just said the peace group billions. It's run by Putin. It's not run by Putin. It's a group of people. Jesus, the International Peace Board is not run by Putin. Holy crap. They brought Putin on it to try and help get peace done. And you don't make peace with your friends. You make peace with your enemies. That's how you do it. That's the whole thing about peace. The U.S. military is enforcing a blockade on sanctioned tankers. Department of Energy Chris Wright plans to travel to Venezuela to discuss the future of its state-run oil, PDVSA, according to Politico. Yeah, run by Putin. Yeah, crazy. Oh, it hasn't gone down that much in New York, but you know why it hasn't gone down in New York? The same reason it hasn't gone down in California, because they raised the fucking taxes on gas. Why don't you look into it, dude? Look into it. California and New York, they increased taxes on gasoline as gas prices were coming down. That's why your prices haven't moved. Yeah. I know they're in court every single... Okay, never mind. Peace with enemies. Didn't know you just say you wanted to invade Canada. Yeah, we invade Canada, and then we make peace with them after we invade them. That's what you do. You invade them, take them over, and then make peace with them. And actually, we would be liberating Canada, the Canadian people, from their Marxist communist government. There's a bunch of fucking commies running Canada. The CCP has thoroughly took over Canada's government. We can't allow that to happen. So why not do that to Putin? We're going to invade Russia? Really? Have you not studied history at all to see what happens to any country that invades Russia? Look it up. Take 5 minutes. Look up. What happens when someone invades Russia? California also chased all the oil refineries out, supply and demand. Then again, what do lefties know about free markets? No, nothing. Nothing at all. Yeah, think about it. New York, the guy that lives in New York, Mandami just announced that he wants to give free hotel rooms again to the illegal aliens. Again, even though they say they're broke and they had to cancel the 5,000 officers they were going to hire for NYPD to replace the shortfall they had when all the people left and they didn't replace them. I go to a reservation for cheap gas. Maybe. So there's that. Then there's this story. Savannah Guthrie offers a $1 million reward for information on her mother's disappearance. Send the USMC. That's the way you do it. They're America's pit bull. You keep them locked up, and you don't feed them well, and you treat them like shit. And then as soon as something goes wrong, you let them off the chain. And they just go in and wreck shit. $3.25 in the Hudson Valley. Wow, I just paid $2.30 for gas today. $2.30. I mean, I would like it to be $1.75, but, it's been a while. Mandami the commie. Yes, he is. Mandami's going to get his money. Hochul will give it to him after election. Reservation gas is cheap because they're exempt from state taxes. That's right. Remember when that guy invaded Russia with a couple of trucks and got into Moscow? He was Putin's cook or something. Do you believe that story? Really? Savannah Guthrie offers $1 million to get her mom back. Today Show anchor Savannah Guthrie says she's offering $1 million reward for information related to the location of her missing mother. Yeah, there are 10 separate taxes on gasoline in California. Pooh's Paddock out of Mastic, Long Island cigarettes are cheap too. $2.24 today at my closest station. Indian gas, cheap gas. I don't know. I have reservations about that. Oh, hey, high five. I finally showed up from Logic 2. What's up? Oh, look at this. Her mom is not coming back. The FBI is too busy getting drunk with hockey teams. The FBI director getting drunk with a hockey team? Do you think he's the one doing out there investigating stuff, looking into stuff? Really? Says New Jersey's gas was down $2.50 right before the first storm 2 weeks ago. Now it's back to $2.90. Hopefully it'll come down after the storm disappears. What does he do? I don't know. Goes on TV a lot and talks. And we also think she may be lost. Maybe she's already gone. She may already be gone home to the Lord. Man, I don't know. She was kidnapped, I believe. From what we're seeing videos of people with masks coming to the house, disconnecting things, taking her. So seems like, they should be able to find her. AI says as of February, California has the highest gasoline tax in the United States, with the state excise tax currently set at 61.2 cents per gallon. Yeah, but then that's the state tax. What about county taxes? The counties also have taxes. You know who else has taxes on gas in California? The cities. So you have state tax, county tax, city tax. Same thing in Illinois, by the way, and New York. Do you think he writes everyone's to-do list every day? Yeah, in Florida, it fluctuates. It's like $2.79 at the expensive one, but I've seen it $2.20 or so here. Yeah, it depends. It goes up and down. The gas stations are always quick to raise it when there's a fluctuation in the market up, but when it goes down in the market, they're not too quick to lower it either. You got to know where the best gas station is. There used to be what was it called? Gas Buddy, I think it was, where you could go and check the prices. Authorities believe Nancy Guthrie went missing from her Tucson, Arizona area home on January 31st. She was reported missing a day later. A crime scene was discovered at the woman's home. Officials say, adding they believe she was abducted. No suspects have been identified. Officials have warned that the woman needs medication to live, and the DNA testing showed the blood at the scene that the home belonged to Nancy Guthrie. It's insane that California's gas is more expensive than Hawaii's. Yes, because I believe all of Hawaii's gas has to come in by tanker. I don't think there's any refineries on Hawaii proper. It's up a bit because we're peak Florida tourist season. Yeah, all the snowbirds are here. In a Tuesday morning X post, the FBI confirmed the development coming as the search for the 84-year-old woman had reached its 3-day mark over the past weekend. The $1 million reward will be given in addition to the FBI reward of $100,000 for information. So it's $1.1 million, the reward. Yeah, and everybody from New York City just moved here. Yeah, they all did. They're like everywhere. It's insane. They're everywhere. Hawaii is all shipped in. That's what I thought. I thought it was all shipped in. So if you have first-hand knowledge of Nancy's whereabouts or any information, please contact the FBI. Federal law enforcement agency also wrote that there's been a significant number of calls about the case for people to submit only serious, detailed, fact-based information. Well wishes or other case theories should not be made to the tip lines. For the first week, Savannah only offered $2,500. Maybe she should have offered more from the beginning. Really? I don't know. Damn, just to your south, I'm paying $299 still. It could be the county. If you're living in like Broward County or Miami-Dade County, they have taxes, gas taxes in those counties that are pretty kind of, yeah, you know what I mean. As of February, Florida's combined state and local gas tax rates range between 38 and 40 cents per gallon, depending on the county. Robbie gone wrong. Bet she didn't live 24 hours. So sad. Well, what were they robbing her for, though? That's the question. What would they be robbing Nancy Guthrie for? I mean, the mother. Did they think she was like sitting on gold or something from the daughter, like the daughter's gold? Oh, did we just get another raid? We did. MG Law. Thank you to all the raiders from MG Law. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for showing up. The sheriff on the case told them not to offer money. Virginia 24 combined state and regional tax amount to 41 cents per gallon. 38.39. With the federal tax, the total tax burden is 58.5 cents per gallon. California gas is out to all be shipped in too, except they don't have any port capacity. We're going to get screwed here in Nevada until the new Texas pipeline comes online in a year or so. Steep. I don't know what you mean by steep. As of February, the average U.S. gas price for regular London was $2.95 per gallon. Well, that factors in all the who is MG Law. He's a channel, like a law tube type channel. It's weird the daughter called Mark Kelly before she called the police. Really? California literally has a mystery search charge, 41 cents, unexplained. How about you have to pay 50% more on gas if you don't have a Florida license or state ID? I'd vote for that. Oof. Yeah, sounds good. The tip line is not for personal messages to the Guthrie family. Yeah. Dick's Lexic Newscom is closing all our refineries. Yes, he is. Well, folks, we've been going for 2 hours, and has anyone here tried Trump RX? I haven't tried it yet. I was thinking about it for one prescription. I'm still waiting to see what my insurance company says. Look at Bella dancing over there. She's dancing in the bed. I don't know. I think it might only be for certain prescriptions right now. You have Joey pulled up when you're ready? Okay. I might go a couple more minutes. I don't know. A little bit more. Let me see who's live. I don't know who's live. Let me see. Hold on. Do I want to do him? I guess. I guess we can do him. I don't know. Should we do one more story, maybe? We could do this real quick. Let's see here. Let's do this. Let's do this. Angel Mom Patty Morin scorched the Democrats. They look at U.S. citizens as just casualties. They're not emotionally invested. It doesn't move them. It's like they lack empathy. President Trump cares about the everyday person. He truly does. He wants to make Americans safe.
They're looking at American citizens as just casualties. And because they're not personally and emotionally invested, it doesn't move them. It's like they lack empathy. And to them, having an agenda and having a political plan to go forward in that agenda, they're missing out
wrong with his
on
eye?
the humanity of all of this. It affects, they estimate like 25,000 people a year. That's a low estimate. 25,000 people a year being murdered and killed by illegal immigrants.
What?
And even I've met illegal immigrants in my hometown that they've told me they're here illegally. They don't commit crime. Even they don't want the criminals here. That's part of the reason why they left. And so President Trump removing our country of these murderers and just literally criminally insane people is the right thing to do. President Trump cares about the everyday person. He truly does. And he wants to make America safe. And to have an agenda that puts your political career ahead of the American people, the American children and families, I think is just an horrendous and horrible and godless and
No, his eye. Something's wrong with his eye. It's like it's
thing to
closing
do.
or something. Like I wonder if he's having
And
a
I think
stroke
they
or
need
something.
to get on board with President
Weird
Trump.
looking. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. Look at this. It says, disgusting. A generation has been truly ruined by the TQ cult. 5,747 children surgically mutilated. Wow. 8,579 children received hormones puberty blockers. Oh my God. 13,994 minors underwent sex change treatments. What? 62,000 sex change prescriptions for children. Holy crap. That's crazy. This is nuts, man. This is nuts. This stuff's crazy.
And the statistics are just staggering. 5,747 children underwent surgical mutilation, according to the Stop the Harm database. 13,994 minors underwent sex change treatments. 8,579 received hormones and puberty blockers. More than 62,000 sex change prescriptions written for children. I mean, it's just staggering, Congressman.
It is truly medicalized child abuse. And people sometimes ask, where were the parents? Well, I think many children will tell you this story, and I think Chloe would tell you this story, that many times parents were coerced. They were told that if they don't go along with transitioning their kids, their child will commit suicide. Would you rather have a live son or a dead daughter? I can think of nothing more inappropriate, nothing more unethical than that kind of coercion.
Yeah, and the statistics are just staggering.
That is crazy. That is just crazy. That's just crazy. Okay, we saw that one. Wait. What? No. Damn it. Oh, look at this. Reid Hoffman, a Democrat megadonor and frequent guest on Epstein's Island, invested $25 million in Smartmatic in 2024. A friend trans her kid. Doctors went in and the mom in the hospital after teen attempted blank. Exactly what the news guy said. Yeah. Total satanic evil. Yeah, demons. These people are literal demons. Literal demon rats. Literal demon rats. Not a single one of them stood up when Trump said that the country was moving back towards Christ or towards God. Like, why would you not? You all claim, like, all of them that aren't a Muslim or whatever, or Jewish in the Congress all pretend to be Christian. So what, none of them cared? Is Trump still going to use Smartmatic? Trump doesn't want any machines from what I know. We want all paper ballots. We want all paper ballots, hand counted on the day. We did it all for years. There's no reason it can't go kill happen. So they provided the money so that Smartmatic could provide They wanted to provide capital that would allow the truth to be found in the courts. Smartmatic has been accused of altering votes in the 2020 election. Separately, they have another lawsuit where wait a minute, they've been accused of it by who? I haven't heard that. Yeah, an unalive child or a mass shooter. Yeah, they could do that. They just go scoot up schools. So separately, they have another lawsuit where U.S. prosecutors have charged the parent company for bribing foreign countries for contracts worth $900 billion. Now, I know that is the case. They did charge him for bribing countries. Then why didn't he get rid of Smartmatic? Because technically the president doesn't, the states control the way their elections go. The Congress would have to pass a law outlawing it. One of the State of the Union guests was a detransitioner. Go woke or go broke, Dr. Evil. Yeah, so after Jeanine Carroll. So this guy paid for, the Jeanine Carroll lawsuit and all this stuff. This guy's been on Epstein's Island like crazy. He sent, all the stuff that he did with sending Epstein money, talking to Epstein and stuff. It's just crazy. Just crazy. So anyway, I want to thank everybody who was here. Please remind everybody, please hit the like button if you haven't already. And please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I try to do these shows every night. It hasn't been so much. I have some other stuff going on, but I try to do at least 4 to 5 nights a week doing a news show, starting somewhere between 9 and 11 p.m. at night. Goes about 2.5, 3 hours, 2 hours or more, depending on what comes in the chats. I went a little long tonight because last night's show got cut short, and I didn't want to jip anybody their stuff. In your state, if you've been hit and not supporting a child sex change, it will take your child. So, yeah. But please come on back tomorrow night for Jim to tell you the news.